Go live?
Yep. Hey everyone, it's Brian and Keem here, and welcome back to my live streams. It is live stream 151, and yeah, I'm here with James from TWD Explained. So let me know if you guys can hear us. But yeah, James, thanks
Hello.
for thank you for
Hello.
yeah. Thanks for joining me, James. I really appreciate it, and really excited. I've been gone for a few weeks to Romania, and my brother got married, and then I got kind of sick, so the live streams have been kind of delayed for a bit. But
So is the brother wedding because you went there, or is that separate?
it's a bit of both. Mostly the wedding, but we also explored Romania. You know what I mean, like castles and all that stuff.
Yeah. That's cool, man. I'd love to do that. I bet you had a.
Yeah. Hey, DeRosa. Hey, Josh. Are you doing okay? Yeah, I'm doing good. Still a little sick. Just runny nose and stuff. But yeah, man. James, I got a chance to watch your episodes. They were really cool. I hope. I like the idea that you have about like this. You created your own random community in the world of The Walking Dead, and you're basically like, hey, we found out about my community found out about the Civic Republic and then Commonwealth and this and that, and you're kind of like getting to the politics of like how these communities are going to survive, live, like what happens now, after the ones who live. So I kind of like that. You're kind of doing like your own canon thing with the ones who live.
Yeah, and I've got a whole bunch more, so maybe people will enjoy it. We'll see.
Yeah, definitely. I hope so. Don't know if you are going to take any guest stars. Like I said, you know what I mean? Like other channels that maybe they can pretend to be someone who lives in one of the communities. Maybe that's a thing.
Yeah. I need to do that. Get a bunch of you different guys to, play a part. Send you a script, and then you could probably talk it out and send it back to me, and I'll put it inside the video. And you be that other person. Yeah. I need to try to write up some stuff because I do have ideas. Like I could go to a community and interview some of the people about what they think about something, and there's a lot of ideas that could throw in other people.
Yeah, definitely.
And you be that.
Oh, sorry. But like, yeah, because like what happens to some of the characters? Like what happened to the World Beyond characters? Maybe you could add that in. Like, imagine like a line where someone's like, hey, has anyone seen Mason Beale? Like anyone? That kid has been missing. Like, like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, the one angle I'm trying to stay, and it's hard. Like you're saying about Mason Beale, it's hard to even Rick and Michonne. I mean, take Dead City and how everybody had heard about Negan, that man with a bat, and all those stories. I kind of took that as far as that's how people hears about things. So they don't know everything. People may not know about Mason Beale. So unless you go interview somebody that might have known him. So that's what I'm trying to do, is trying to stay realistic in the sense that nobody knows Father Gabriel probably, so I probably won't be talking about it. That kind of stuff. Like trying to keep it where a lot of times the main characters may not be a part of it because, the Iron Ridge people, for an example, don't really know yet about it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so this stream is mostly going to be talking about, obviously whatever you want since you're the guest star, but also in a way about the ones who live. So I guess like in a way this stream is like episodes 4, 5, and 6 about the ones who live.
Okay.
Because like, don't get me wrong, episode 4 with Denai and Andrew Lincoln, fantastic writing, fantastic chemistry. But in terms of like, the dialogue too, the dialogue was great. But I just want to point out that there was not a single mention of Daryl, I don't think, in this entire episode. And two, like, there's a lot of conveniences. Like, we find out that the CRM just happened. So, like, after Michonne literally went Leroy Jenkins on Rick, tossing him out of the helicopter, where they could have died. And they just conveniently fell in water. They conveniently, find this incredibly advanced, more advanced facility than the CRM that does like, it does the temperature regulations, like it's like automatic, like AI, like, and it does this and that, and then Roomba too. I mean, dude, Roomba was the best character in the spinoff, and I can't believe he didn't survive this episode, man. Roomba, man, how could they do that?
Every new character they introduce, they kill. That's just what they do.
Unbelievable, man. Man, Roomba was loyal to the end. There's no excuse why Rick and Michonne could not have grabbed and saved Roomba. There is no excuse. They should have saved Roomba. They had so much time. Like, the building is collapsing, and they're having a marriage debate, or you know what I mean? Like, they're having a marriage quarrel, lovers fest, and they are literally sleeping together and talking for long periods of time. And it's like, hey, you guys know this building is collapsing, right? And it's like, it's like
yeah. The writers have a problem, I think, in the Walking Dead universe with the sense of, let's say they're sitting at the table in the writer's room and they're like, we need a metaphor for what's happening in their lives. Their lives are crumbling around them. Oh, let's have the building crumble around them as they argue. Yeah, let's do that. And for some reason, just a lot of the stuff they come up with doesn't transcribe well to screen. Like, when you're watching it, it's like, come on. Right. It really puts the viewer out of the moment, kind of, sometimes,
Yeah, I definitely think that we needed Rick and Michonne having a sense of urgency in this episode, and it felt like their urgency was more of, we need to save our marriage, not let's save our lives. Because, if the building collapses on them, they know they're going to live. But if they break up, then there's no going back from that. It's like, really? Like, so there were moments like that. And also the contrived conveniences. Like, this facility that they were in, like, how did no one in the zombie apocalypse find it? Like, this facility was so advanced with AIs and energy, and literally they have trucks that are run by diesel and stuff, and you know what I mean? Like, it's just up and ready for them, like, so convenient. But like, this advanced community didn't have food. Like, the one thing you need to have in a community, and they're so advanced, they're so smart. They had the fences and AI stuff, they had a Roomba, but the one thing that they didn't plan for was food. Like, are you kidding me with this?
Well, I mean, who was the apocalypse, really? I mean, the advanced facility was because they were advanced, smart people and doing this work or whatever they were doing. So that makes sense, as far as the place being in existence. But them conveniently finding it and it still having power, that was very convenient.
How did the CRM not ever find this place? It's not that. I mean, yeah, it's somewhere between Philadelphia. Well, actually, it's not that far from the summit. It's not that far from the summit, right? Like, it's not too far, and it's not far from the base.
Supposedly, it was around Yellowstone because that's where they were when they fought Jadis. So when they left that building in that truck and Jadis found them, they didn't go that far, but they were like around Yellowstone when where Jadis died. So yeah, it wasn't far. Yellowstone's not far from the base that they built.
Right. So it's like what the heck? How did the CRM never find this place? Like, it's one of those things where it's like, really? Like, or nobody found this place. That's also insane to me. You're telling me no random survivor running from zombies found this place? Like,
right.
It's like, really? I don't know, but
you just gotta really overlook so much of that stuff because in reality we'd have enough bullets, we'd have enough stuff if that many people died. I don't know about your part of the world in America, but the America I live around, people have their garage. They don't park their car in it. It's stuffed to the gills with crap. They have a storage unit that's stuffed to the gills with crap. The third bedroom is stuffed to there's so much stuff there's so much stuff. So,
Oh yeah, I
a
agree.
realistic zombie apocalypse movie or show in America is just abundance, just extra abundance for everybody living like kings because half the population died.
Oh yeah, totally. No, I'm in the same way. I live in Georgia, so our garages, at least mine, is full of junk, full of recycle bins, full of um, water and canned food. Like we cannot park a car in there. So yeah. Um, hold on, let me read the chat. Yeah, Brian's built different, so he's chilling now. Thanks. Yo, Brian, did you hear that Daryl season 2 was fully on Paramount? Yes, I heard that, DeRosa. Um, Josh says, I can't believe all 6 episodes of Daryl Dixon season 2 got leaked. Like, are you kidding me? Can nobody stop leaks from happening? I wouldn't be surprised if all 8 episodes of Dead City season 2 get leaked in 2025. Yeah, what do you think about that, James? I mean, I know we're talking about the ones who live, but I guess, like, have you seen all the episodes? Just curious. Or did something get spoiled?
Just to answer to answer the question about the leak of Dead City, it's possible, it could be leaked by somebody somewhere along the pipeline as they, are handling it. But Paramount did that, and it was a mistake. Somebody might have got fired over that. I don't know, but
Yeah.
I don't know if it was AMC's fault, which I like to blame AMC for just about everything. But this might have been Paramount's fault, and if it is, I'm sure they'll start. Like they'll handle this a bit better. So maybe it won't get leaked. But to answer Brian's question, yes, I did watch the episodes. I am ashamed a little bit, but I did just to get ahead of the leaks if I can. Mainly because I didn't want to. I want to watch it every Sunday. I want to get excited about it and maybe know something I didn't know because I didn't get spoiled. That's what I want. But I did watch it.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Hold on, let me read the rest of the chat. Yeah, I bet someone was fired for that. It makes sense. Here's the thing, though. It's AMC's fault, too, because they give Paramount the episodes, so they need to, like, look at them and remind them. Like, they reminded them, right? Hey, only release 1 episode a week. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it was a glitch. Yeah, it was definitely a glitch. You know how, like, streaming, like using Discord and stuff, how you could put up 5 files and you only want to make one public, but you accidentally click. I mean, I do it all the time. I put up a members video just the other day, and it went public for a few minutes before I realized, oh, crap, that's supposed to be a members video. And I switched it over to members. So it happens.
Right, but a few minutes is one thing. A full day is another completely different story. Like,
yeah, it is. It is surprising that they were up so long. I agree with that. And AMC could have just sent them 1 episode at a time, but I'm sure that would be harder. That's not the usual way that they do it.
Right, but also, like, just to say, hey, remind them and say, hey, only release 1 episode, a week or whatever, or give them 1 episode a week, or I don't know, just. But yeah, it's like you think. After the first episode release, you think AMC or Paramount would have looked at that and then said, "Oh crud, the whole season's out. Let's fix this quick," But I'm just saying, yeah, go ahead.
You'd think they'd fix it quick.
It's just, dude, like, it's just this level of, like this level of tomfoolery and incompetence. It's just not what The Walking Dead needs. It really isn't. They used to be so on top of things in the past, and now it's just mistake. Let's give Daryl Commonwealth armor. Wait, that's CRM armor. Oops. It's like, what is going on? Like it's I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a mistake, and not to mention The Walking Dead Destinies, like again and again, like these AMC is just trusting these weird companies to like do something for them to expand The Walking Dead, but they're doing it so sloppy.
Are you talking about the greatest game ever?
The greatest game ever. Yeah, if RJ's the greatest character ever, then yeah, The Walking Dead Destinies is the greatest game ever.
I never played it.
Oh, it is trash. Like we can do a whole live stream on it. Like the characters, there's no Andrea, there's no Otis, there's no Tyrese, there's no Sasha. There's like they're missing big characters from the Walking Dead main show. Like it's like, what is this? There's no Terra. There's like, um, it's just really, really bad. Like, it's so lazy. Let's see. Josh says, I still. Oh wait. DeRosa says the ones who live was good, but should have been longer. I agree. Paramount really screwed that up. We still talking about Roomba? Yes, Roomba is the best character. That first episode was dark. I don't really care for it. I'm not excited for episode 2, considering how slow paced the first one was. Oh, you're talking about Daryl. I'm not going to spoil anything, but if you're expecting anything Rick related, be prepared to be disappointed. Yeah, I don't think we're going to see Rick and Daryl Dixon. Joshua asks, how have you been doing, James?
Hey, I've been doing pretty good, Josh. I appreciate you asking.
Yeah, and if you guys want, there's his channel too. It's in the description. James is doing a new series on his Walking Dead channel. Let's see. We need an RJ Walking Dead game. Nope. I saw 2 leaked scenes from episode 4 of Dale Dixon, and I won't spoil it. Not only that, but it showed Herschel walking without a leg. Yeah, I remember that. I remember there was a cutscene where Herschel's walking, even though he doesn't have his leg in the game. And it's oh my goodness, that's so bad. Like, come on. Like it is clear that the Walking Dead Destinies, they put no love into it, like none, no quality. Like, um, sheesh. For real. Um, okay, so episode 4, good dialogue, good all this, but James, do you think episode 4 was just too long? Like Rick and Michonne, a whole episode with only 6 episodes. Do you think that it was too much? Like for Rick and Michonne bottled up in this episode, like nothing else with CRM. Like, do you think it was just too much?
I guess personally, I probably do. Um, I guess let me also take it from a perspective of the majority of fans. I know yourself, you know, didn't like it as much. There's a lot of people that didn't like it. And in a lot of ways, I didn't like the overall show. Um, but I guess for what it was and what it ended up being, it was okay. Even though I personally might have wanted it to be not as long or not as crazy stuff like, well, that's a really nice place y'all found after jumping out of a helicopter and you live.
Yeah. Um, yeah, understandable. I feel the same way. Looking back on it, the ones who live was just too rushed. So I feel like the Rick and Michonne stuff should have been half an episode, and episode 5 could have been the other half. Like, I don't know. Um, and also, man, I expected these episodes to be so much longer. Like, why didn't they do the Stranger Things one route where like every episode is like a movie? Like, you know what I mean, in terms of length and quality. Like, I thought we were getting that. But when you see these episodes, they really are not high quality like we thought they were going to be. Like, these episodes are higher quality than what we got in season 11, but like just a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Like, I expected a movie level quality, like back to season 1, but it wasn't, you know? Uh, okay, not only that, but it showed Herschel looking like Carol really is not saying anything. Daryl's wild. Oh, that's crazy. There? You there, man? Episode 1 of The Ones Who Live was truly a masterpiece, but after that, sheesh. I think it was good, DeRosa. I don't think it was a masterpiece. Episode 1 was just so short. Like, it still was, like, pretty darn short. Hold on, guys. James is, he got disconnected or something, so, we're gonna move on to episode 5. And, yeah, let me know what you guys thought. And also write questions in the chat. All right, guys. So episode 5, the death of Jadis and all that stuff. I just want to say this, guys. I did not feel bad for Jadis, not in the slightest. Um, I mean, come on. Like, can we really feel bad for Jadis after all the crap she's done, after the people she's murdered, after the people she's sold out? Like, I mean, come on. It's just, um, oh darn. Hold on. Um. Yeah, guys, so I'm gonna try and invite some people. Let's see, Jadis was a rat. Yeah, I mean, she was more of a chameleon, I guess. But, like, yeah, I totally agree. Like, Jadis, like when she got bit, like, I was, like, laughing my butt off. I'm like, oh, wow, you got bit by a zombie. Like, and you're wearing CRM armor, which literally is supposed to stop you from getting bit. I'm like, oh, that's pathetic. But, like, it's so funny because it's like, dang, like this is what you get, Jadis. Like all the people she's murdered, sold out. Like she stole Rick from his kids, like all that stuff. Oh hey Rick. Hey Rick, do you want to join? Do you want to join me? Let's see. What if Tyrese and Andrea met Negan in the show? Yeah, I don't know. That would have been interesting. Hold on. Yeah, Rick, let me know if you want to chat. Cause let's see. Pretty busy. I can stop by. Oh, okay. Um. Um. Okay, let's see. Movie Island needs to shut up about the ones who live. Yeah, I gotta agree with that, DeRosa. Um, um, yeah, I totally have to agree with that. Like, listen, Movie Idol, he does his own thing, and I'm sure he's a great guy in real life. But in terms of like false advertising to fans and clickbaiting and misleading fans, he does that, which I don't like. Um, Man, I really wish I can, but actually, I'm on my way to work right now. I can even stop by. What's up? Real quick. Okay. I understand, man. Um, let's see. Maybe I'll. Okay. Yeah, guys, please ask me questions and stuff if you have any things to ask me. Hey, Matt, thanks for coming. Unfortunately, I was talking with James from TWD Explained, but unfortunately, he left. I'm not sure what happened. Um, oh, wait. Okay, here he is. Okay, thank God. Um, hey, James.
Hello.
Hey. Um,
Sorry, I'm out in the country.
oh, no worries. Yeah, yeah, no one else can VC with me, and obviously it's not going to go on forever, but yeah, we got Mega Matt and Rick Grimes in the chat. But yeah, so I just wanted to say that, yeah, looking back on it, like I said, Ones Who Live, it's a good Rick and Michonne story. Like, it satisfies me. It does answer my questions. Did it answer them well? No. But I'm satisfied. But, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, as a CRM story, it's trash. But as a Rick and Michonne story and Walking Dead story, it's good. Like they did conclude, they did the Jadis, sorry, not Jadis, Judith and RJ thing, and it felt like a closed chapter. So I will admit they did that, but they could have done it, in my opinion, so much better. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I think the entire fan base is a little distraught about how they thought CRM would go and how it did go.
Yeah, exactly. Because here's one thing I'll say. Remember when Michonne and Nat were gassed with the, chemicals and stuff? There are so many things that I don't understand. One is I thought the CRM didn't have any more gas because of what happened in World Beyond. And two, when Michonne and Nat stayed a whole year in that mall, why did the CRM not come after them? Like, you're telling me the CRM gas people and they don't send some soldiers with gas masks to check the surrounding areas to make sure they got everyone, that no one escaped? Because, like, Michonne and Nat stayed there for a whole year. And three, why couldn't it have been Hope, Felix, and her group that found Michonne and Nat? Like, imagine if, how much better it would have been if Michonne and Nat were gassed by the CRM, they got knocked out, but you have Hope and Felix that saved them. You know what I mean? Like they pull them out of that.
Yeah, that would have been good. I don't know about number two, but number one, there was a scene in World Beyond with the dad and Hope, and they were trying to see what the green stuff was, and they figured chlorine gas that they're going to that they did to Omaha, and they were going to do to Portland, and
Right.
in that scene, the dad says, "Oh, it's chlorine gas." He says it's cheap to make, it's easy to make. You don't have to have much stuff to make it, and it's easy to come by. He said all those things like this is the easiest stuff you can make to kill people. So if they run out or it was destroyed, I think that scene was put in World Beyond to kind of tell us, well, it's pretty easy to make, and they can get the stuff to make it pretty easy.
Right.
As far as making more. So that's the number one, but your number two and three, good points.
Yeah, but for my number three, here's the thing though. Michonne's story takes place like around the same time as World Beyond. So it just doesn't make sense how the CRM could have lost all their gas for Portland, and then it's just all of a sudden revealed that, hey, no, they have a lot more gas. So everything that happened in World Beyond didn't really matter. But here's the thing though. I understand that he mentioned that you can make it and stuff. But here's the thing. They took the formula and the scientists, you know what I mean? Like, that gas was made by Belshaw and some other scientists, right? Dr. Abbott.
Right.
They died.
Right. But they took the formula for the stuff Belshaw was working on. She put stuff in the gas to experiment. Remember, she was experimenting. The chlorine gas was just to kill the people. What she did, I don't know if that was another canister they dropped later or they mixed it in with the chlorine. I'm not sure. But, her side of things was, whatever she was making to try to stop them from reanimating or whatever she was doing. So the chlorine gas was separate as far as just killing everybody.
Right. But the chlorine gas in World Beyond, it's the exact same. It's green. The one that Huck sacrificed herself, blew up. That's right, the same. It's green too.
I know chlorine gas is supposed to be clear maybe. So yeah, I don't know. I think that's again the zombie fantasy show. They just wanted to make it where you could see it because I think it's supposed to be clear and you wouldn't be able to see it. So that may just be a TV thing. But they probably had some. If you notice, they were leaving from where Rick was, with helicopters with a couple of canisters on each side. So they had it there, and World Beyond was at a place in New York.
Right.
But again, this is a zombie fantasy show and it's The Walking Dead. It's not written very well. It's crazy sometimes trying to make sense of it because you just can't,
Right, exactly. Like, I want The Walking Dead to be written so much better. Like, at least them acknowledging that, like, just a simple line of, hey, what happened in World Beyond? It took them 2 years to make enough gas afterwards. Like, at least a simple line like that for it, you know what I mean? So that there's some continuity. Like,
yeah. Well, they could do it better, more like a Game of Thrones, the dude who wrote Game of Thrones, he has maps. He wrote another book of just complete history, to let you fill in the blanks of why this happened in Game of Thrones books. He's like, here's the history. So
yeah, but George,
if Walking Dead was anything like that, it would be so much better.
Yeah, but he writes slower than a snail, George R. R. Martin. He writes slower than a snail, though. So
yeah, he does. We may never get the last book.
The last two books. Oh, we're never getting
Oh
it.
yeah.
They're never coming out. Trev's Chan says The Ones Who Live is a great ending for The Walking Dead. Honestly, I disagree. Season 8's finale would have been a great ending for the show. I don't know. Hey, Matt. It's Matt Goats. Homie, what a legend. I think fear is the biggest monstrosity of the Walking Dead universe. Ooh, what do you think about that, James? I think that's tough, but I think it's up there. I think it's up there, but you got The Walking Dead Destinies, and then you have The Walking Dead Clementine Lives books, which, they're so gross. You have, Destinies, you have, Tales, oh my goodness, dude, like, how much more junk do we have to add to The Walking Dead? You know how The Walking Dead used to be like clear water, it used to be nice, clean water. Then you take a dump, and then they take a dump in it. And then after a certain point, it's like, how much can we take anymore before we're like, this franchise is ruined? You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry to put that in your head, but that's how I feel sometimes The Walking Dead is. Like, where you get some really good spin-off stories, and then you get a whole bunch of these terrible, awful stories that should be, they're so bad, they should be illegal. In fact, some of them are illegal. You know what I mean? Like, Clementine Lives. That's illegal, technically,
Yeah, I don't know, man. There's not a good answer to that question of why there's so much bad stuff inside the universe and they allow it.
Yeah, why can't they put us in charge of the franchise? Like, the fans would do it so much better. I'm gonna text you something. It's big. I don't want to say it on the air. I don't want to say it, but yeah, it's big. Yeah, like it's that bad.
I haven't read that.
But it is.
Read that
It is. It is in Clementine Lives. That's in Clementine Lives. I mean, are you kidding?
I mean, it's in the real world, I guess. I mean, I don't know.
Right.
I guess you can choose to not put it in something in writing.
Right, but showing in the story, as in, this is what the author wanted? Like, as in, there's nothing wrong with it? No. You know what I mean? Like, it's disgusting. Let's see, James, have you watched the return special for Daryl Dixon? Return special?
Yeah, when Daryl and Carol, or Norman and Melissa, sorry, Norman and Melissa, like they did, Andrew and Denai did one where they walked around Alexandria.
Oh, yeah. Let's see, I thought you meant Scott Gimple. Can't lie, Scott Gimple's writing was solid in the early days. Season 4 to 6 era was peak. Yeah, I agree. Scott Gimple, here's the thing though. Season 4 to 6 though, it still had some writing issues. In the second half of Season 4, you had the bottle episodes, and then the first half of Season 5 with the Beth story arc, and then killing her off, like really? Like, Gimple's writing, even his best, still had cracks in it. Like, he really needed a second opinion on his writing, even back then when it was great,
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, I know we say that we could do better. It is hard.
Oh, we could.
I mean, I know it is. It's hard to put it all together sometimes.
Right. Yeah. But, I mean, like, we still could. Like, I truly have faith and believe we could. Like, I mean, I did my Walking Dead Extinction story, and yeah, it has some flaws, and is it perfect? No, but, but I don't have the, you know what I mean? Like, I basically, with that story, I try to do what I want to see in The Walking Dead, and that's what the fans want to see. You know what I mean? Like, what I think of is, if I'm a fan, what do I want to see in the story? And that's how I write. And it's only 5 seasons, The Walking Dead Extinction, but, it's not like 6, 7, 8, 11, but still, like, if I had the comics and I was told, hey, adapt the show, like, I think I can do it. Like, you know what I mean? And I wouldn't do decisions like killing off Carl or whatever. So, yeah. James, can you make a From Season 2 review before Season 3, Episode 3 comes out? Wait, what? James, can you make a...
That's tomorrow.
Oh.
I mean, Episode 3 comes out tomorrow. I don't know if I can get a Season 2 video done in that amount of time, just because I'm got to go out tonight and stuff like that, so I may not have time.
Yeah, totally.
And that show's so deep, man. That hurts my head. I've told people way back that I was going to do a season 2 and talk about it, but and I have a version in the timeline actually where I talked a bunch about stuff, but it's just so deep. It's hard. It's hard to do a video about From. I don't know if you watch it, Brian, but it's a deep, mysterious show.
I haven't, but like I mentioned this before, whether or not something is Walking Dead related, it doesn't matter. Like me, like everyone here knows, I am obsessed with Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, because it's like maybe my favorite animated movie of all time. Like it might be, because like because the quality, the characters, the writing, the animation, like all this stuff. There's no Walking Dead in it. There's no zombies. There's no this and that. Regardless, though, it's quality storytelling. It's a quality movie. And that's what every one of us fans deserve, okay? Because and lots of times in the Walking Dead universe, we get absolute crap. So we're like, listen, we're going to expand ourselves. We're going to look at other stories because we deserve better than crap stories and writing in our favorite stories. We deserve to see good stories, and that's what other stories have. They may not be Walking Dead, but they're still amazing quality storytelling.
Oh yeah, there's a few out there. There's a lot of crap too, but there's a few good ones.
Yeah. To think Negan Lives only got 1 issue, but we got 3 books for Clementine Lives. Yeah, it's garbage, Matt. If Angela King was the showrunner since season 1, everyone would be alive right now. That's true, DeRosa. Is season 4 to 6 better than 7 and 8? Yeah, season 4 to 6 is better than 8. Don't forget the author of Clementine Lives did not even play the games. She said she did, but yeah, she clearly didn't. Okay, so James, episode 5, Jadis's death episode, the honeymoon episode. I have so much to say about this episode. It's not bad. There were some things I liked in it, but like I said, this should not have been a whole episode. This should have been half an episode because here's the thing, though. You have Rick and Michonne, and they're just exploring, and then you meet those random people in the woods, and they give them some food and stuff, and then the guy points the gun. And here's where I start having some problems. Michonne's like, they try to steal from us. They don't get noodles. And I'm like, yeah, Michonne, you have a point, but the woman, didn't steal from you. She wasn't trying to. So it's not fair to punish her for what the guys did. And 2, you let them keep the gun. Like, if I was Rick and Michonne, I would say, you know what? We have plenty of noodles. You can keep them, but we're taking this gun, so you can't rob us again. Or try to. You know what I mean? Like, it was just completely backwards, you know what I mean? Like that, so I don't know if it was the writing, but in terms of the character, I'm like, why are you guys doing this? Like, because that part, I was shaking my head going like, no, why let them have the gun, but take their noodles? Because now they're going to be more desperate, Like, you want to teach them don't steal. Okay, take their gun, Like, take the gun, but like leave the food so they don't starve to death, Just, I don't know, it's just things like that. Like, so that was one issue I had with this episode. And then the next thing I had was with Jadis finding Rick and Michonne. Do you think it was convenient that Jadis found Rick and Michonne? And I have some problems with this. Did Jadis fly the helicopter by herself? When she was tracking down Rick and Michonne? Like, did no one come with her? Because this whole episode, I was like, where's Silas? You know what I mean? Like, why couldn't we have seen Silas this episode? The actor.
Yeah, that was a huge mistake. Not, like you say, putting in Hope and it could have just been that one little scene with Hope and like the scientists saving Michonne, and then they went back to their business. Silas, it could have been just at least one little scene. Give us something.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. But see, like I said, you want to know why? You want to know why Avengers is so great? You know what I mean? Like, how they do the whole, like, the Avengers, man, they did it so well with the cinematic universe and having these connections and these characters meeting for the first time from the different stories. But The Walking Dead, it just doesn't do it. Like, this is why Avengers made so much money. This is why they're still remembered now. Even now, I still rewatch Avengers Infinity War and Endgame because I'm like, man, it's so good. Do I rewatch The Ones Who Live? After 5 months? It has been 5 months since The Ones Who Live ended. Do I rewatch that? No. Do I rewatch Avengers after 5 years? Yes. Because it's just different. The quality is just, you know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. I mean, it's hard to say TV these days because of streaming and stuff, but, let's take the old days. You had TV, and you had movies, and there was a clear distinction. You could watch a TV show and you could say, yeah, that had a TV show budget, and you go watch a movie and you're like, wow, a bigger budget makes all the difference, and it was so great. Well, now, because of HBO quality and streaming like Netflix and Apple TV and all these streaming services that do make movie quality shows, we've come to expect more. But AMC, for some reason, is still in the old days. They make TV. I mean, TV,
Right.
cheap TV.
Right,
And
right,
that's what The Walking Dead is. And it's so sad. It's so sad.
right. Like Stranger Things, every episode is like a movie. That's how great the show is. Every single episode is like a movie for every season. Meanwhile, you have The Walking Dead. They can't make one episode like a movie. Why? Like, it's so frustrating, man. Because I want The Walking Dead to be better. I want the quality there. But it just, AMC doesn't do it. I just don't understand, man. It's just so frustrating.
It is frustrating.
Yeah. Okay. So next with the episode, Jadis tries to kill him. She monologues like a typical Saturday cartoon villain, where she's like, I'm gonna kill you, and then but before I kill you, I'm gonna tell you my plan. And it's like, oh my goodness, Jadis. As soon as this happened, I'm like, I knew Jadis was dying this episode. I'm like, Jadis, you're gonna die. Like, you can't fool us, And then she did. She got bit.
Yeah.
She got bit around her neck where she has that armor padding. I'm like, are you kidding me? What good is the CRM armor and those neck braces, paddings, if they don't even protect you from a bite? Like, dang it, man. What is it with The Walking Dead and these armors that don't do their job? It's like...
Yeah, I guess you would have to have the helmet included, to complete that safety net around your head. But that episode had the problems I think a lot of the series did, is that, Rick and Michonne are superheroes, almost beyond superheroes, and they're going to have a miracle happen every 2 minutes. Like Jada's shooting at them in the bed. Really? She missed? And it's just like, come on, you're taking me out of the element again. Like, this is just, I know it's a zombie fantasy show, but this is just too unreal,
Yeah. Definitely. There's a limit where you can't suspend your disbelief anymore. Here's one thing I'll say. Dude, isn't it insane that Gabriel has been lying to the group, keeping the secret for so long? Like, I can understand Jadis. I didn't expect to see Father Gabriel in this episode, and I admit, I was surprised. But here's one thing I'll say. I cannot believe Father Gabriel, for the last 3 years, has been lying to the group and keeping this a secret. Like, think about it, that Jadis has been around, and, and he's just been meeting with her in secret. Like, it's just like, are you kidding?
So is lying, I guess he wouldn't be lying since they didn't ask a question or something, so he would just be keeping a secret. And
well, if he sneaks out and says,
I don't know.
Well, if he sneaks out and says,
is keeping a secret, though, that bad? I don't know, is it?
I mean, like, considering the fact that Jadis...
Like run me, like, just for, giggles, run me through a scenario that he tells somebody, and then what happens? I mean, what would be the purpose of him telling someone, and then what would be the outcome?
Well, it's one of those things where it would be important for them to know. Like, they never asked about Jadis. Here's the thing. Father Gabriel said that Jadis was a part of a community. Like, he knows that she's part of some dangerous community. I think it's just kind of crazy that the group... I'm not saying that they need to go to war with these people. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is, did the characters really not acknowledge that, once again, like the whole Heath situation, did no one piece together that, Jadis had the RV? Like, same RV that Heath was taken. Like, that's one thing. But also Rick, too. Here's the thing. If Father Gabriel tells Rosita, I feel like, would it do something? It might not, sure. But here's the thing. It's still one of those things where they should kind of know about it, because it's one of those things to have, like, to at least know, where it's like, hey, Jadis is part of this new community, and she told me not to tell you guys, and you guys cannot confront me or her about this, but, because I'm going to meet up with Jadis. But you know, as a safety precaution. Like, you know what I mean? Because, like I said, look what happened. She pointed a gun at him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Father Gabriel knows that Jadis is part of an advanced community that had a satellite phone, and she even told him they are so well off. We could have a life like no other. You think the group should know about this so that they can try to find it themselves, just in case. You know what I mean? Not maybe through Jadis, but you get what I'm saying. Like, you think the group should be aware that there's a community out there, like, that's really big.
Yeah, but then you can look at it a little bit like we look at the Earth and sending out a radio signal to try to contact aliens. Well, that sounds cool, but what if we contact aliens and they go, oh, yeah, we're going to come kill you, you know, that kind of thing. So, you know, as far as if Father Gabriel knows that she's a part of whatever this is that don't want anybody to know, you know, he may actually even put his group in danger if he tells them or something. I don't know. You've got a good point, but at the same time, I can kind of sort of see why he wouldn't tell him also.
Right, but then the thing is, staying with them, even the meeting up with Jadis, even that's dangerous. She even said that no one, her people cannot know that she meets up with him, you know, all this stuff. And they cannot...
Yeah. As far as his own life, he was in danger for sure.
Right, but the thing is, it wouldn't be that hard for the people that Jadis is with to find out Alexandra. What if you know, they do find out that Jadis has been talking to someone in Alexandria? What if at some point they decide themselves to wipe out Alexandria? I'm just saying it's an idea that Father Gabriel at least should have told them, you know, because that way it's like, okay, you do know there's another group out there, because like, you know, at least like have an idea of like, hey, like, this meetup is dangerous, whether or not you tell them, but at least telling them could be like, okay, there is a possible danger. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you never know if you accumulate more stuff. Let's say you go back and Negan told everybody he saw a helicopter, and Rick maybe told everybody he saw a helicopter, and Father Gabriel told everybody he saw a helicopter, and what Jada said originally. You know, if you add all of that up, it might have changed things, you know, some way.
Right. I can't believe the group never put these pieces together. But here's the thing, though. As far as Negan, though, I guess it makes sense. He hates the group. They kept him a prisoner for 8 years. I guess it makes sense why he never told them. You know, he hates them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
But did Rick tell anyone he saw a helicopter? I get it was during the war and he couldn't process it. But yeah, did he tell anyone? That's just insane.
No.
Like, see, again, like, why in The Walking Dead do characters do stupid things and they don't act like normal human beings? Like, I don't get that in The Walking Dead. Like, it's frustrating. But then, yeah, okay, so when Jadis gets bit, I didn't feel bad for her in the slightest. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Jadis and this and that. I'm like, yeah, Jadis, zip it. Like, all the horrible things you've done, all the things you tried to do, like, no, like you're not being redeemed. Like you're still dying a villain, you know, in a way. And then the fact that, you know, Rick and Michonne made her a grave. They're on a strict time schedule, and they literally dug a grave for her in a rock pile. Like, you know how long that would take? Like, Rick, Michonne, you guys have like no time. Like, why would you, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, totally.
Like, it's just one of those things where it's like, oh, come on. Here's the thing, though. The Jeep that Jadis had in this episode, where did she get that? Was it from the resort? Like, because Rick and Michonne had their own car, but where did Jadis get that Jeep? Because she came by a helicopter, right? Like, I'm confused. Like,
I don't know. I'd have to rewatch it.
Right, but Jadis had a Jeep. But she came by a helicopter.
Yeah, and I don't remember where she got it. Was it a CRM Jeep?
I don't remember.
I don't remember.
It had to have been. It had to have been, because there's no way.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah, you see right there, like that's a plot hole. Like, unless there is a legit reason why she had the Jeep, but like I don't think there is one.
But I mean, really, how many times has somebody just showed up that had no way of getting there in that amount of time? That's They just write for convenience, you know.
Convenience. Yeah.
But I'm just into more like that's why one of my favorite shows is a sci-fi show called The Expanse. And one of the reasons I like science fiction and I like universe and the space and all that kind of stuff, but at the same time I like shows that are realistic, you know, even if it's fantasy. Realistic fantasy, we'll call it that. And The Expanse is definitely that. It's realistic all the way through. And I love that about it. And I wish The Walking Dead, even though it's a zombie fantasy, I wish it was a little more realistic, you know.
Oh yeah, 100%. And I hate how some people say, "Oh, it's a zombie fantasy show. It doesn't have to be 100% realistic." Oh, if that's the case, then why doesn't Rick fly like Superman? You know, if we could suspend disbelief for teleporting zombies and vehicles that pop out of nowhere that a character somehow inexplicably got, why can't we have a character fly to a different country, like just like that?
Yeah. What would you say? What would you say would be the most like as we're talking realistic zombie movie show that you've seen?
I don't know, because a lot of those zombie movies don't do it right. The zombies are just too fast. It's like they should not be that fast and stuff. But um, I really don't know, because like every zombie story messes up somewhere. You know what I mean? But um, yeah, I just don't know. It's kind of hard to say. Um, yeah. Okay. So moving on to episode 6. Oh wait, hold on, really quick. The chat. Clementine Live is pure garbage. Season 45. Don't forget the other. Okay. Last Wish main villain is peak. Yeah. Yeah. James, did you get a chance to watch any movies lately, like The Last Wish, or no?
No, I know I'm supposed to watch that and talk to you about it, but I haven't yet.
Oh, okay. Well, Matt here, Mega Matt says here himself, the main villain is peak. So, yeah, man. Unlike General Peel, I'm sorry, I have to say, man, 6 year, like, okay, maybe not 6.
What is
yeah,
what is the villain like? Is he a rat or a man or a what character like what is it?
I don't know if I want to say.
Like
Did you really
Puss in
want me to
Boots
tell
is
you?
a cat. What's the villain? I mean, yeah, does it spoil something to know what it is?
I mean, it would be kind of a spoiler to tell you what he is, you know.
Oh, really? Okay, don't
but
tell me then. Don't tell me then.
well, I mean, it's not like well, I mean, it's not exactly per se like a twist where it's like, oh, this character like is going to appear at some point in the movie, and you know, you think he's a good guy, but then oh, plot twist, he's the villain because he's this one character that's this animal or whatever. Like, I will tell you, I will say he's an animal character. I will say that, but like other than that, like I won't say what else. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Okay, that's cool.
yeah. Because yeah, like I don't want to give too much, but yeah, like he puts General Beale to shame. I'll tell you that, which is so true. Because man, dude, all these years, man, of build up, you know, with man, dude, like ever since the World Beyond and everything with the CRM, this massive build up, man, we were waiting for this Avengers Infinity War with the Walking Dead universe, and no, we didn't get that with the last time. I am shocked. You're telling me Rick came back to the CRM and General Beale is not even at all like surprised or thinking, you know, hey, maybe Rick is not here. Maybe he's not. Think about it. Isn't it suspicious that Jadis is gone, that Rick came back after being gone from the CRM? Does General Bill not think maybe Jadis went after Rick and that Rick killed Jadis and now is took her helicopter to come back? Because Rick had to have flown the helicopter back. They would know that's Jadis' helicopter, right? Like, did General Bill not ask about?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
the fact that Jadis was missing and probably should have been a part of that festivities that was going on. You know, you almost can't really think about it because it'll start breaking down.
Dude, what the heck, man? Like, oh my goodness. Like, don't get me wrong. I said it before and I'll say it again. Terry O'Quinn is a great actor, but General Beale? No, his character was trash. It was, because I'm expecting this Thanos character, and I'm like, dude, no. General Beale, The Walking Dead's Avengers level threat. The Walking Dead's Thanos was a senile, bald old man. Like, are you kidding me? Like, it's just so disappointing. Like, it really, really is. You know what I'm saying? Like, like, I think I heard a rumor that said like the actor Terry O'Quinn asked to have an even smaller role when he got the job, when he got the role for General Beale. You know what I mean? Like a smaller part, and Gimple allowed it or something. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I heard that.
yeah, it's just it's just one of those things where it's like, what, like, were they never planning on making General Beale the Thanos of the Walking Dead universe? Like, were they really not? Because like, but also there's lots
Yeah,
of, yeah.
I
Go
don't
ahead.
think he was. I think where most of the time we see a villain bigger than like a Bill or be more prominent, even with his idea of trying to take over the world or kill everybody or whatever. But Gimple, for some reason, simply the idea, Bill's idea of killing everybody was the main bad guy, not the character himself. He's just going to be shown a little bit. He's going to die quick as soon as we do show him to you. His idea, though, is going to go through all of World Beyond, wiping out Omaha. His idea is going to go through several spinoffs, but the man himself isn't much.
Um, yeah, but it's just one of those things where it's like, you introduce this massive threat and you take out the main villain like that easy. Like, what? Like, it made General Beale look like a moron. Like, he had no guards. Rick literally killed him and stuffed his body in a crate. Like, are you kidding me with this? This is not quality writing here. How is this possible? The CRM, they were supposed to be smart, powerful. Don't they have cameras? Like, I don't understand how any of this
It's
works.
a superpower. It's that superpower thing. It's miracle after miracle after miracle for Rick and Michonne, and not so great for everybody else.
Michonne even pulled a ninja move where she just climbed up a tree and this and that. I'm like, dude, where are the cameras? Where are the dogs? Where is, hey, when you come inside, you need to check in as a soldier or this and that. There's no check-in systems. There's the gas was unguarded. It was right behind the entire meeting. It's like, what? Like, why? I don't understand. Rick leaving his prosthetic in his room for Pearl to find. Why would you do that? Why would you? It's a valuable weapon and you're going to let her know ahead of time that you're betraying her. Why would you do this? Like, it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I think I get a lot of slack. I have gotten slack on my channel for saying stuff like this, but I still think, as much as I love Andy, as much as I love Deny, love other stuff they do, love them as people, as actors, and all of that. I don't know. I wonder how much different it would have been, for example, if they were not executive producer, if they could, if they didn't have input into the writing, would it have been miracle after miracle like a superhero characters or not? So, I see it in other shows too, is really why I'm putting this forth, is that sometimes when the actors finally do get involved and become executive producers and stuff and have input in the writing is when things start kind of swerving on the road, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. They treated Rick and Michonne like gods in this show. And I'm like, give me a break. General Beale should not be impressed at all with Rick. Okay? Rick is just a guy who started a few years ago and, oh, he came back. Okay, well, maybe I should be a little suspicious. Because why would Rick come back? Rick tried to escape multiple times before. Now he's come back. Wonder why. Hey, where's Jadis? Hey, why'd he show up with Jadis' helicopter? Like, just little things like that. Like, oh my goodness, why are these characters in The Walking Dead so dumb?
Well, didn't they land like somewhere outside the fence and sneak in or something? So that might answer the helicopter question. Maybe they didn't recognize what had happened in that sense yet or in time. I could kind of see that, but still, the absence of Jadis and everything that Rick was doing seems suspicious. So yeah, the writing wasn't that great.
It really wasn't. I hated the part where, first off, I love this. I love the echelon briefing. It was just, oh, we're going to wipe out Portland. We're going to do this. We already knew all this stuff. The only thing we found out maybe that was new was that, oh, there's million zombie herds out there, like million big zombie herds. And it's like, oh, okay, but they're not doing anything in the main Walking Dead stories. They're not a threat in Daryl Dixon or Dead City, or, you know, they weren't a threat in the main show. Like these big million zombie herds, they weren't, you know, and also like that line where General Beale had where he said, you know, I could see you being the one in charge in 10 years. I'm like, Beale, shut your mouth. You have a son. Like, what is this? Why are you brown nosing Rick? Like, why are you doing this? It doesn't make sense. Like, I don't understand why. Like, oh my goodness. I don't know. Like, things like that just didn't make sense to me. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Right. Because, like, it was just like, oh, we're gonna wipe out Portland, and also, did they confirm in this episode that there are employees in Portland, like citizens in Portland that are CRM agents? Because the only thing, like Beale mentioned that, oh, we have agents all over the world. Okay, where are they? Who are they? Were there any in the Commonwealth? You know, like how you teased Gimple? Remember how Shira and that guy Roman, you know, were they CRM agents? You know, some connection would be nice, you know? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I guess he put stuff in there to be able to set up things. You know, it's like he's done it so much where he's put little things in a season hoping to follow through with it later, but don't. And it just, you know, it's just left hanging out there.
Yeah, you know what Gimple does? He throws seeds in there for later for it to grow into something, and he forgets to water them. He's like, oh yeah, I still have some seeds on the ground. I'll water them. I'll water them soon. Years go by later. Oh, I never water those seeds. Huh. I guess I forgot. Like, see, that's how Gimple's writing is. He writes something and then plants little seeds there, and then he doesn't water those seeds, you know, for them to grow. He just acknowledges that, oh yeah, I had those seeds there. Like, I don't expect any CRM in Daryl Dixon. That's why I'm not watching it. That's a big chunk of why I'm not watching it. You know?
Oh yeah, there's not going to be any CRM in Daryl Dixon.
Yeah. Like, it's like, are you kidding me? Like, she probably sparked notes on the game. My honest opinion, they should make one big show with all the OG characters, and that's how they should end it. I agree, DeRosa, but here's the thing, James. They can't make a Walking Dead show with all the characters together one last time, because it'll be too expensive, right? Like, Negan, Maggie, Daryl, Carol, Rick, Michonne, Aaron, Gabriel, Judith, all those characters.
Yeah, I don't see that happening.
Right. It's going to be too expensive. Because these actors have to...
and mainly...
Yeah, go ahead.
Mainly because also that, you know, I think it'll be more small. Like, we might see Rick reunion with Daryl. We might get that, but that'll be over here. And then we might get Rick reunion with Morgan, and that would be over here somewhere. You know, I think it won't be like all at once. Everybody together. It'll be... we might see Rick, you know, over here, and this happened, and Rick over here, or these other characters over here, you know, in this other show or in this other thing. Yeah, I think it'd be hard to do it all together.
Yeah, they're too expensive now, each actor. And also, I don't think they want to come back. Like, Denai, I don't think she wants to come back at all. Andrew Lincoln said he was open if the story was good. But let's be honest, this is AMC. You really think they're going to write a good story? Like, the chance of that happening, it's like a coin flip, you know? Like, less than a coin flip, you know? It's like drawing straws. You really think AMC is going to write a legit good story again in the Walking Dead universe? I don't know. I'm not holding my breath. But
yeah, I'm hoping they announce something at New York Comic-Con. You know, it'd be great if they had and whether it'd be good or not, I don't know, but it'd be great if they had another show come out next year.
Yeah, I totally. Well, I don't think they're going to announce something either in this Comic-Con, but they might. But I mean, it's like, what could they really say? Like, what can they really do? I don't see anything, honestly. But yeah, man. So like. Okay, so, like seriously, like, Beale had no guards outside his office. Did that take you out of the experience when him and Rick fought? And it was just like, oh, like,
A little bit, a little bit. Some of the things, if you do let your mind take it through a little bit, can be explained if you just throw something out there. And a lot of stuff can't be, of course, but like his no guards thing, you could kind of say, well, they're on a base. There's hundreds or 1,000 of them guys around. The base is secure. We have guards on the perimeter of the base. All this kind of stuff. Maybe he didn't have guards. If he goes back to Civic Republic or across the river, wherever the CRM camp is, headquarters, maybe he has guards, or certain places maybe he does. But in this place, maybe he felt more safe and secure because of where it was and the day, that all those soldiers were there. So you could almost kind of make an excuse for that, but a lot of things you can't,
Right. I have a question. Why did we need to have Michonne? If Rick and Michonne were going to blow up the CRM, did we really need that filler of Michonne going into Jadis's room and ripping up the document? Because if Beale's dead, there's no point.
Yeah, I think that was before, main objective of them going back was to do that. So that happened, and they didn't, as far as the writing goes, it was written to say, well, we did that, but now this happened, and, things are progressing. And they just kind of progressed to the point they blew up the stuff.
Yeah, I agree. And then, boy, did they
because, Michonne, after she ripped up the letter, Michonne saw that presentation of the kids and what they were going to do and everything. So she's like, oh, we can't just rip the letter up. We got to, finish this. I think she might have told him in the elevator or something.
Right, but how in the world, the explosion was great, but how in the world were Rick, Michonne, and Pearl the only survivors from that explosion?
Miracle after miracle on that show.
Ugh, it's so frustrating. And the fact that here's what I don't like Pearl's character. Nothing against the actress, but Pearl's character was a complete miss for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was a little weird in places for sure.
She was for Rick and Okafor and this and that. She even mentioned, Rick, where you saved my life once. I'm like, when? And then all of a sudden, it's like, she was like, Rick, I got promoted. Oh, this is awesome. When Beale tells you the echelon briefing, you're going to change. You're going to be a part of that. It's like, and then we find out what it is. And it's like, so Pearl was just okay with this. She's okay with genocide. She's okay with murdering. She's okay with all this just because she got a promotion. I don't understand how that works for her. I don't understand how. It doesn't make sense to me.
Well, son, we're about to get wiped out by walkers. We're going to lose unless we kill Portland and everybody else. We're going to die. We're all going to die.
Right? That doesn't make any sense. The CRM could wipe out these million zombie herds. They can. They have tanks. They have the resources to do it. They have missiles on their helicopters. They can make ditches. They can make trenches that are so big they can fit thousands and thousands of zombies, and they could blow up these zombies with detonators. They have calling facilities. They could make
None of it makes sense, because if you think about it, okay, we're sitting here, we have all this firepower, we have this military, and there's a million-strong horde that eventually will overtake us and we'll lose. All of humanity will die. So what are we going to do? We're going to destroy another huge part of humanity as we walk across the country, killing everything in our path. Well, what about those million zombies? Why can't you just, if you're going to kill them somewhere along the way, just kill them? It's like none of it really makes sense if you start breaking it down. That's why it's hard to really think about it too deeply.
Right, exactly. It doesn't make any sense, and I thought the CRM's whole model thing could work in a way. Oh yeah, here's one thing I'll say. My good friend, you know him, Walker Dead Phoenix. His General Beale. I showed you pictures of him. Can you imagine if this was it General Beale instead of though imagine Rick going in the office and this was General Beale, not Terry O'Quinn's General Beale. Like, can you
Yeah, it
imagine?
would have been a tougher fight.
Oh yeah, it would have been, dude. It would Rick would have thrown that knife and then he would have caught it. Imagine that. It's like imagine you throw a knife at someone and they catch it. Like, you know what I mean, in the air. It's like, oh, I'm screwed. I'm gonna get destroyed. Like that would be. Oh yeah, it would
Hey,
have ended.
if I threw a knife at somebody and they caught it right before it went into their
Yeah,
eyeball or
yeah.
something, I would scream like a girl and run the other way.
Right? Like, oh my goodness. You know what? I bet this is why Scott Gimple didn't go with Dominic Purcell as General Beale. I bet this is why he didn't want to go with a beast character because the power of love wouldn't have defeated him. This is
Oh
why.
yeah, yeah.
Oh man.
Rick would have needed a much bigger miracle than he already had.
Oh yeah, straight up, man. That's so funny. I did like some lines in this episode though. When the explosion went off and all that, and Pearl, when she was like, "You doomed us, you destroy the world," I'm like, Pearl, shut up. But when she had that line to Michonne, when she said, "In a dead world, love is dead," I actually did kind of like that line because she has a point. Like with love is not going to kill a million zombies. Love is not going to, you do have to make tough calls. Even love did not kill the CRM. This whole explosion. That wasn't love. That was just incompetence and luck. Like, you know what I mean? Like, love didn't blow up the CRM frontier. Like, that wasn't love. You know? Like,
Sure it was. It was Rick and Michonne. Rick and Michonne are the epitome of love. That's what this whole series was about.
Right. Oh my goodness. And then Michonne had that cringy line, "Oof, love doesn't die." Meanwhile, it shows Glenn's corpse. Am I a joke to you? Like, yeah,
Yeah,
last time
there
I
was some
checked.
corny lines.
Yeah. Am I the only one who's more excited for Dead City than Daryl? I don't know. Infinity War and Endgame were peak. After that, I turned to, yeah. Has anyone seen Joker 2? I have not seen it. Have you seen it?
I haven't, but I want to because I enjoyed the first one.
Okay. Yeah, cool. Let's see. When was this trash?
And I'm excited for Dead City. I was excited for Daryl too. I mean, I don't like. I'm honest when I say I don't like the writing and stuff like that. I just try to be honest. Even though I love the Walking Dead universe, I have the channel and everything. So, the writing on Daryl Dixon season 2 wasn't amazing, and I fear for Dead City. It's like, come on, we need something good. Come on, Walking Dead universe. Get some good writing somewhere along the way. So I'm excited about it, even though I'm disappointed in a lot of ways a lot of times.
Yeah, I agree. Hey, James, would it be all right if we really quick disconnected and then I met you in my other server? Here, I'm gonna send a message. This one. Did you get that in the B archive server? Do you see it?
Say this one.
Can you write something in there? Yeah, this one. Yeah. Yeah. Can we continue this conversation there? Walker Dead Phoenix wants to join the chat, and I know you do have to leave soon. I think I could be wrong.
Yeah. We can do about another 30 minutes or so over there.
All right, awesome. All right, so I'll meet you there. Yeah.
All right,
thanks.
you'll call me from there.
Yeah, sure. Thanks.
All right.
All right. Let me read the chat real quick. Excited for Venom Last Dance. Jadis got bit. I started clapping. Same. Hey guys. Hold up a sec. So Daryl, CRM uniform. Yeah, that's true. They had one job. I could make a Walking Dead show better than Tales of Fear. I agree. Do you think Daryl in CRM looks good? Yeah, I think he looks good, but it just doesn't make sense.
Yo, what up?
Hey, man. Oh, wait. Sorry, man. Hold on. You need General chat. Yeah, hey Walker Dead Phoenix. It's good to see you, man. Yeah, Walker Dead Phoenix. I have James from TWD Explain here. I told him about your reboot, Beal. You know,
Okay.
we were talking about Beal. He said that if the general Beal, if someone in a fight, like he said that in your version, if Rick were to throw the knife at Dominic Purcell, General Beal, and he caught it, James said that he would scream like a little girl if he was fighting someone and they caught a knife in midair. It's like, oh man. So I just wanted to let you know that.
Yeah. I mean, it's true though. I mean, again, no disrespect to anyone that liked it. TV show General Bill. It's just here's the problem. It's how Gimple wrote and handled TV show General Bill. I mean, come on. We all know how that happened within the show.
Yeah, you there, man, James?
Oh yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, sound good. Yeah, man, that's just. Oh man. And obviously, there was that artwork, you know, that I had a key draw with the General Beal, Dominic Purcell in CRM armor. So, yeah, I truly believe in Walker Dead's General Beal. I really think. I mean, like I said, nothing against Terry O'Quinn. It's just that he was just his writing for General Beal was really bad, and also like, and I think like in terms of like the actor, I just think he was a little old because when I saw him, I'm like, dude, how do you have a teenage son? Like, dude, you're as old as Pope. You're as old as Earl Sutton from the Hilltop. I'm like, how do you have a teenage son? Like, I'm like, yeah.
I guess.
Like, how is that even possible? And then some people say, "Oh, his General Bill was good." I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Story wise, casting wise, no. I don't know. I feel like it should have been Dominic Purcell. They should have just gotten Dominic Purcell to be General Bill.
Go ahead, James. Trying to say something.
Yeah, like Terry, I think he's a great actor, and his look, he's got this look about him. He was a little older as far as to have a son, but I do like his look. He looks like a general. He can act very well. But during interviews with Terry O'Quinn, he said, I don't know anything about The Walking Dead. I asked my family and they said, yeah, do it. And, so I just did it. And Andrew Lincoln told me a little bit about what's going on and I just kind of did it. I just think it showed, it kind of showed through the show.
Right.
Like, oh, this guy doesn't seem to know, he don't have the vibe about him or something. And I just think Scott Gimple should have, no diss to Terry, but should have maybe cast somebody younger and also, I guess that knows more about The Walking Dead. I don't know.
Right. Like a beast. Like I was hoping we wouldn't get another Pope situation. Like I said, man, so in The Walking Dead, sometimes I miss those villains that are like, oh yeah, they can outmuscle the heroes. They could beat them in a fight. They are just as skilled in gunfights or hand-to-hand fights. Like, you know what I mean? Like I miss those kind of villains in The Walking Dead.
Yeah, and that's what kind of set me back about Daryl Dixon season 2 is that I don't think they did the villain really well overall.
Who's the
I
villain?
understand what they're...
Jeanette? Sorry, it was Jeanette.
Yeah, Jeanette. She, as a villain, and I'll do a video about it. I don't know if it'll be at the end of the season or if I'll be able to do it during the season at some point. But Daryl's enemy in the Daryl Dixon series, at least till the end of season 2, is the devil, and that's the trick of it's not clear. It's not clear that the writers were trying to be philosophical and
Daryl's
taking
villain
from
is the
religion,
devil?
and
He's fighting the devil?
What?
I'll have to make a video on it. I don't want to spoil anything, but that's the trick of this Daryl season. Like when Daryl Dixon season 1, when he met Isabel and she was standing up on that rock looking down on him, and that was in Lords. If you look at what is in Lourdes, which is this fountain that this lady found, that is supposed to be healing, and now it's one of the most traveled to places for pilgrims. There's a huge thing, huge history, huge symbology in that area of France, and the writers pulled from all of that. So Isabel symbolizes the lady that found the fountain, and Virgin Mary, it's about she saw a vision of Virgin Mary. So all of that plays into this story, and it's very religious. Like Daryl is Saint Michael, I'm not saying, the Archangel Michael. So who does the Archangel Michael battle? Lucifer. And so that's how they wrote the story, and it doesn't transcribe to screen as well as I think they wanted it
right.
to.
It sounds like the execution is being poorly done for that. Like, yeah.
And I think I talked about that even before, about sitting at the writer's table thinking, yeah, this is an idea, let's do this, but it don't really do well,
Right. Yeah, totally. Okay. So here's one thing I'll say. Pearl finding a mask, I'm cool with that. I'll just say she knew the explosion was coming. We got to see Beale as a walker. Man, even as a walker, Beale was super slow. Walker Dead, and I noticed that. Even as a walker, he was so slow. Like, then he blew up. The explosion happened. Great explosion, and the fight between Pearl and Michonne and Rick. Some of the dialogue could have been better. Like love doesn't die, but hey, it happened. Here's one thing I'll say though. They didn't make it super clear that Pearl died, because they just leave her when the zombies are coming, and I'm just like, okay, is she gonna be eaten now? I'm like, it wasn't super clear with that.
They definitely didn't show the dead body.
Right.
Yeah, it was established, and I saw this on the wiki, that she died off camera. She died from the poisoning, like the poisoning from the explosion. She died from that, but she died off camera, like off screen. I'm like sitting there. I'm like, wait, what? You expect me to believe she just died off camera? Because when I first read that, I'm like, that's such a Scott Gimple move. Because as we know, Gimple sometimes has a habit of killing off Walking Dead characters off camera.
Yep.
Yeah, and then this part, this was so rushed. The fact that Rick and Michonne were on the containers, and they were walking up them, and then all of a sudden you have some random reporter that's like, we found out what the CRM frontier got wiped out or whatever, blah blah. This General Beale, and it turns out the control of the military is back to the civilians and this and that. And I'm like, whoa! You can't just skim past this in 10 seconds. Here's one thing I'll say. How did Rick and Michonne even go back to the Civic Republic? Imagine going back to the CRM and saying to the government and saying, hey, we blew up General Beale and all those soldiers, but it's cool. They were evil. You guys didn't know it, but we did it. No, because Rick and Michonne, they had no evidence. That's one thing I don't understand. How did they convince the council off screen that all this stuff that happened off screen? I'm like, how did this happen? They went back to the government. They told them, hey, the CRM was trying to wipe out Portland. And then the civilian government just believed them? And they say all the characters, all the people blown up, all the soldiers blown up were part of the crimes committed by the CRM, and they're basically saying that no soldiers still alive committed any atrocities. And I'm like, that's not true, because all the frontiers were there, but we've clearly seen in the CRM in World Beyond, not all the soldiers wear red. Some of the soldiers that do horrible things, they were normal black too. There is no way that they got.
The guy that all the guys that were killing the people in Campus Colony, and the one guy, confronted Kubelik and said, I don't feel comfortable doing this, and he ended up, got experimented on eventually.
Right. And here's the thing too.
And he didn't. He wasn't a frontliner.
Right, exactly. He was a normal soldier. So there are still agents within the CRM that have done horrible things, that know about the horrible things, but they weren't killed. They're still there. in the city and whatever. And it's just crazy to me that they try to make it seem like, oh no, they are totally fine. All the bad soldiers are dead. No, General Beale said they have spies around every community. Dude, those agents that are in the Commonwealth or Portland or whatever, they are still going to be loyal to Beale or whatever. Not only that, but, I thought about this too. What about the 10,000 kids that they kidnapped from Omaha? What about the research facility that was still experimenting on people? Like there's still those places. Like I said, the 10,000 children that the CRM took. Where are they?
Where are they? And that's the thing, if suddenly 10,000 kids showed up at Civic Republic Council's door, they're like, where did all these kids come from? Oh, we found them.
Right.
And all the kids are like, well, we're from Omaha, we were taken. Right. I mean, it's just too hard to, like I say, you can't think too much into it. There's just too many holes.
Right, exactly. And it's just one of those things where, and not only that, you guys know it, but Mason Beale is still out there. It's like, so Rick is not safe. Rick is not safe. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Judith will protect Rick in the TV show better than Carl protected Rick in the comic.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Hold on. Let me read this chat real quick. Anyone can make a better Walking Dead show than Tales or Fear. Do you think Daryl CRM armor looks good? Yeah, but just doesn't make sense. Ain't nobody was crying about Jadis. That's true. She was only acting all nice because she was dying. True. Brian, she pulled the Jeep out of her inventory. Yes, Walker Dead Phoenix. In episode 5, when Jadis came to track down Rick and Michonne, where did she get that Jeep? Because she went with a helicopter to get them. So it's like, where did she get that Jeep? And DeRosa says she pulled it out of her inventory. I'm not surprised, because this is the ones who live. It's so rushed. Things are not explained.
That's funny.
Yeah. Dawn of the Dead has amazing zombies. Yeah, I like the 2004 Dawn of the Dead. Negan was basically Thanos. Nah, he was too skinny. Negan was a twig. Been watching Lost. Terry's Quinn much better than The Walking Dead. Dan says Beale's actor is amazing. Just watch him in Lost, one of the greatest writings for a character I've seen. Terry isn't the problem. The writing is. Yeah, but I also think that in terms of the actor, I wanted someone younger. What's up, Brian? Dominic, yeah, I agree. Okay, I read the rest of the chat. So the ending with Rick and Judith and RJ. RJ was bad. Like, nothing against the actor as far as him as a person. I know what happened 6 months ago. Like, he was being bullied and stuff. That is too far. It's disgusting. But I will say, yes, he was bad at acting here in the scene. But that doesn't mean he should have been bullied like that. But you know what I mean? Like, so that's where I stand on the whole topic. Like I said, RJ should have been a lot better, but I nothing against the kid in terms of, hey, it's a story. He wasn't good in it, but it's okay. He's a kid. You know what I mean?
He's the future, man. He's the future.
No, he's not the future.
No, he's not. He's not.
He's the future. He's the future.
Nah, I doubt that. I highly do. I highly doubt that.
We're gonna get the Walking Dead Next Generation Jinkies, guys.
Oh my god! No, don't get me started with that. I'm not gonna talk. Listen, if they ever do a Walking Dead New Generation show within AMC's Walking Dead universe, no, just no.
It's coming. It's coming.
No.
If that's the case, it's another perfect example as to why I point out, and I'm going to say this again, and yes, I am pointing this out when I say this, my Walking Dead reboot universe, I mean, just look what I got planned. I mean, come on, that's going to be, in my opinion, it's going to be somewhat better than what we're getting because, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, James, I talked with Walker Dead about this. Don't you think that in The Walking Dead, these kids should not go out there and find people and do this, take after their parents and stuff? Don't you think they should kind of live a better life? Because these kids, man, they didn't really have much of a childhood, and it's like, and also, let me remind you guys that Carl died finding people by himself. So is it really a good idea to go out there with, with very little supplies, very little protection, and be like, we're going to look for people like our parents did. That is different. That is a completely different thing. Like, you could die.
Yeah, that's one thing, like, I'm trying to tackle a little bit in the Survivor Network thing that I'm doing. And I'm trying to not make up anything like, okay, maybe another show will come out, or we'll find out more in Dead City about how the future of The Walking Dead ended up. Because in Tales, we learned they dug a trench, there's a dead zone, there's something going on. They have some type of future. And I want to try to play into that as far as,
oh yeah, absolutely.
and not make something up just out of the blue. Like, try to go along with the show or what's going on, and hopefully they'll give us some more information so we can continue that. And that's the thing about Judith and RJ. If they do a Next Generation, I don't know if it was an argument, but I had a discussion with some commenters on the channel that I said Judith is the future, if there is one, and not RJ. And people, and even I went as far as to say Judith is the Rick of the future show instead of RJ. And I say that just because I have feelings towards Judith. I know Judith. She's a warrior. She's been in so many episodes. I feel for the character. I don't know much about RJ. I don't know if I have feelings for RJ at the moment. So, Judith just seems like the bigger character, even though RJ's the boy. RJ's the boy. He's got the hat. Yes, he's the Rick or whatever physically, if you want to say that. But Judith is the bigger character of the two.
Yeah.
So she would be the main actor going forward if they do it, which I think they will eventually, because they love money.
Oh, that's true, but I hope not. But here's the thing, though. You're right. Judith is the bigger character. I identify with Judith more because she has a personality. She's not a sack of potatoes. Like, I'm sorry, that's what RJ is. Like, he has no personality. It's just insane. So, you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, they could, if they did a Next Generation, they could recast, they could totally change that aspect as far as,
maybe,
if he's still a 20-year-old, or something. They could give him some spunk if they wanted to.
Yeah, maybe, but still, like, I guess, like, it would be kind of hard to pull off the right actor. And like I said, like, I'm not crazy about Judith. Here's one thing, though. Remember the alternate ending? How would that even work in the future? Because we saw how the ending was. The Civic Republic have helicopters. They have jeeps. They have an army. They have tanks. If Judith is, let's say she's 28 in this alternate ending, let's say it takes place 17 years later, all the zombies would be dead. You know what I mean? Like, from the outbreak day, like, all the herds, they would be all gone. Because they only last 20 years. So, Judith would go out there with her friends and they would find survivors, bring them back. Okay, here's the thing. What if you don't have enough people? What if you have way too many people to bring back? What if they try to kill you, hurt you? I mean, Judith is a pretty young woman, like, in this alternate ending. So what if someone tries to hurt Judith, What is she going to do for protection?
RJ.
No, that's stupid. Like, it's one of those things where it would be so dumb. Shouldn't the Civic Republic military in the future, in this alternate ending future, shouldn't they be searching for people? And saving them, bringing them back? Why?
Well,
why
you gotta have that. You gotta have that story, though, if they do it. But that's the thing, I personally, and I think a lot of people agree, that maybe if they want to do a Next Generation and try something in the future, whatever. But the meat and potatoes, the place where they can keep an audience and maybe even gain more if they would do it, is to be start over. Like, give us some more of the beginning and some good characters.
Oh, I agree.
It's still the same universe. Still the same universe. Every now and then touch on something like Easter eggs from the main show as you go along. People would eat that up more so than a Next Generation, probably.
Yeah, totally. Because I have Easter eggs in my story, but they're not too often because I don't want to have Rick and the Walking Dead extinction. Like, it wouldn't really make sense. It would break continuity. But you know what I mean? If Rick had like this secret adventure we never saw, it wouldn't make sense. So, but here's the thing though. At some point, you're right. There has to be a limit. But as far as day one outbreak, like, yeah, I totally agree with that. But here's one thing I'll say too. Remember when Rick and Judith and Michonne and all of them were hugging, and you see helicopters bringing supplies or taking crates of supplies. I'm like, where are they going? You know what I mean? Because they're in the Commonwealth, right? Like, where are they going to bring those supplies? Then that better not be the Commonwealth, because last time I checked, Commonwealth is already a self-sustaining community. You know what I mean? Like, because here's the thing, though. General Beale said the human race is going to be extinct in 14 years and blah, blah, blah. I think he was partially lying about that and paranoid. But here's the thing. I also think he was partially right. And here's what I mean about this. Even if the CRM is good now, they can't just give their supplies willy-nilly to any random survivors and strangers. They can't just do that, because these people won't have the means to defend themselves. They should be living in the cities. And this is something I noticed in your show. Maybe you could bring this up. If the Civic Republic military is going to be giving supplies to random strangers and stuff, shouldn't they be joining the cities? Because then it's like we're just giving stuff away for nothing, because these people are just going to get killed out there because there's still so many zombies and there's so many people that are still dangerous out there. You know? If you have supplies from the Civic Republic and you have this community of 10 people in this random location, the CRM can't reach you to protect you, then what happens when raiders show up and kill you all and take your stuff? You know? Like, what are you going to do then? So, you see what I'm saying? Exactly. So
there's a lot of things you could throw around in that, but I don't know. As far as when I write the show I'm doing, the way I look at it is like we're trying to figure it out. Yeah, there may be some remote communities that want to stay independent, and they'll just have to fend for themselves for the time being if that's what they choose to do,
right?
And stuff like that. There may be some cults or religious, communities or something like that.
That do ritualistic
sacrifice.
Go ahead.
You look at City and New Babylon and how they've set up a big area with a lot of communities joined in, and they have law. It's not the best. We saw that, it's not the best system. It's more gangster, I guess, but still, they incorporate some type of system throughout that, wherever they are and whatever communities they have. So that's what I'm kind of aiming toward in the show that I'm writing, is like different places are going to be doing that, and they're going to have their own laws and their own way of keeping peace and stuff. How are we going to, and can we merge into one?
Right.
That's the problem. That's the difficulty.
Right, because then you're going to bring up, well, these, I didn't watch the show, but this New Babylon people, they're crazy. Imagine a character like in one of the communities in Alexandria. Imagine they bring up like, this woman, Maggie Ree, that I heard about, she took her son and they left the hilltop and they started a new community outside of the Commonwealth and CRM's jurisdiction and protection. And what happens, and imagine this character is like, what happens when a bunch of raiders attack them? What is she gonna do? Like, that would be so funny. Because what happens when you form these small little, incredibly weak communities outside of the Commonwealth for CRM's protection? What happens when you get raided and attacked? Like, what are you going to do then?
Well, I mean, the same thing that's happened since the fall. You fight it off and you live, or you get defeated and you die. I mean, that's just the thick of it. That's just the answer. There's no other answer. That is the answer.
Well, then they shouldn't. Then they shouldn't start their own communities. In my opinion, that's where I stand on the subject. You should not.
Well, maybe they've been around. Maybe that little community's been around since the beginning and has fought off the bad guys like Alexandria and stuff. And they have been through their trials and tribulations and loss of crops and storms.
Dead City?
But they're still here. They're still here.
In Dead City?
Just make up any little community like you're talking about. What if they get overrun? Okay. Well, that's always been the issue, right? I think maybe what you're saying also is that, well, why would Civic Republic, if they met this little community, why would they give them a whole container of supplies just willy-nilly,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
If they're not going to join them or join a cooperation or join a pact or join them, so that's the issue, though. Like in my radio thing, that's what we're talking about. Like, okay, there's just a bunch of crap all over America of little communities and big communities. How the hell are we going to get this to work together?
Well, exactly. Like, and I would say like these smaller communities, they need to start assimilating into they have options, Portland, Commonwealth, or CRM, but they need to start picking somewhere because they're not going to last long. You know, like
Yeah.
this late into the apocalypse, all it takes is a group of raiders to show up. Why give supplies to a random community of 10 people outside of these cities? And hey, some raiders came in and killed them, took their supplies, and then we just gave supplies for no reason. You know, it's a waste. So yeah, I
Yeah,
would
that
definitely.
I think especially like the New Babylon people probably know Civic Republic Council. I'm sure at this point in the country, you have to form a nation. You would have to form a nation and start from that point to have any type of control, to have any type of system, to be able to deliver supplies if needed to your citizens. But they're not your citizens, they're people out in the wild. So I have a radio show written actually about that. I actually don't interview him. I talk to him and then just tell the story. I say like, hey, I just met a guy that lives out in the wild.
Yeah.
And
Right,
and and
exactly.
the differences between a community in the wild and a community like Civic Republic that's trying to get back to be a part of something, and the ones that don't, how are we going to deal with that? So that is an issue.
Right, exactly. If these smaller communities are not going to join, well, then they might have to defend for themselves. And they should be given the option of joining. And if they say no, then, well, okay, we tried. Because here's the thing, though. And even with the other communities like Portland and the Commonwealth should definitely be self-sustaining. Commonwealth should not need supplies from the Civic Republic. And Portland, they have had 2 years to be self-sufficient, after what happened in the world beyond. And maybe you could interview someone from the CRM, or sorry, from the Civic Republic, and they could say something like, or maybe you could say like, hey, I interviewed from someone from Portland, and you could say like, they're still having trouble being self-sufficient after 2 years. And then someone in the Civic Republic is like, listen, we're trying to help you be self-sufficient, but you can't keep relying on us anymore. Like, for us to feed you, like, you need to feed yourselves. It's been too long in the apocalypse. This needs to change. These cities, these
And
communities.
a lot of communities may be able to do a trade, instead of, hey, just give us stuff and we're not going to give you anything back. Maybe it's like that one little group in, what was it, The Walking Dead season 11, maybe that grew poppies, for medicine. Maybe this one community has this that another one don't, so they can incorporate a trade system somehow.
Yeah. Did you have any thoughts on this, Walker Dead? Did you have anything you wanted to say, or about your reboot series? Anything of the sort?
Um,
Or are you just enjoying the
yeah,
conversation? All right, what?
no, I was, I was, hearing the conversation because I was letting allowing you guys to speak.
Yeah,
What I
thanks.
wanted to say before was that, I want to ask James this. So James, what are your honest thoughts and opinions on like me doing my own Walking Dead universe, that being my Walking Dead reboot universe? Like, what do you think from everything? I'm sure Brian told you, but from everything you heard, like, what do you think of it?
I think it's awesome, man. Fan fiction, in any way or form, I think is really cool, of a lot of different universes or, things. But just somebody, and, I think I've told Brian this before, just the commitment to do it, and you actually do it. I mean, that's more than, man, thousands of people do, because they can't do it. They don't have the skill, the willpower, to keep it going, maybe once they start. So I think that in itself is a huge, huge thing, that you accomplish something. And that it's actually something decent is even icing on the cake.
Thanks, I appreciate that.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's also why I did the. Yeah, I can't wait to see him, how he does his Walking Dead universe. It's going to be so much better than AMC's in terms of logic and characters doing things that make sense. Because like, I mean, he kind of teased that his General Beale is kind of like Thanos of the Walking Dead universe, how it was supposed to be. So, there's a lot there to look forward to. But yeah, it's just kind of crazy how it ended, and people are still like, hey, where's Maggie? Where's Negan? Where's Daryl? Where's Morgan? Rick got to reunite with his family, but where was everyone else? And this and that. So even with a great ending for Rick got his happy ending until, Mason Beale eventually shows up in his room. But you get what I'm saying? Like, it's still a good ending for Rick and Michonne. Like, they ended this story, but it's still like those little things of, of course Scott Gimple had to leave Morgan out there somewhere. And if Daryl just stayed a little longer, he would have seen Rick come back. Like, oh my goodness. But now he's stuck in France, and he and Carol too, and they're going to be stuck in Europe forever. You know what I mean? They're going to be stuck in Europe.
Daryl's the hero of Europe.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And Daryl doesn't even know about the CRM. How great would it have been if Daryl fought in the Walking Dead Endgame, and imagine Daryl blew up a CRM helicopter with RPG. Like that, I feel like that they should have done that. Like,
They give that to the little guy. They gave that scene to the little guy.
yeah, to Nat. Yeah, I remember that. But yeah, you get what I'm saying. It's just crazy that this was Rick's most intense story in the Walking Dead universe, and his brother wasn't there, and he doesn't even know what happened. Like, oh man, like that's just insane to me. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So yeah, I honestly like, and also my goodness, man, Kaylee Fleming, dude, she is getting older. I believe this takes place 6 months after the main Walking Dead show ending, but yeah, it's just everyone still is asking, like, what does PPP mean? What about the CRM spies in all around the world? What happened to Silas in the World Beyond characters? What happened to Heath? What happened? It's like, so many things that were just like dropped. Like,
Yeah, it's tough. Gimple said, I don't know if it's Gimple, maybe it was, but they've said that they redo. I've got the word reboot in my head since Walker Dead Phoenix thing. They try to start over each season. Like Dead City, the showrunner, I think it was, said, we just started, rebooted it for season 2. And I think the way they say it and the reason they say that is that, well, is a big reason why the writing is not great as it could be.
right. Well, they say that, we rebooted the show. It's a new Walking Dead experience. They always say that, but they're lying. They always say that just to hype things up. Like, you know what I mean? Because, like, think about it. Like, I heard that I heard that the season 2 finale of Daryl Dixon is going to be the best Walking Dead ever. It's going to be the best Walking Dead episode ever, ever, ever. And it's like, do we get to see Rick in it? Or CRM? And it's like, no. Well, then why the heck is it the best episode ever? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things where it's like, why does AMC do this? Why do they hype things up? And then you watch it and it's like, no, you guys overhyped it. Like, it's not terrible, but you guys massively overhyped it.
Yeah, they're good at that.
Yeah, it's so tiring though. Like, do you think Michonne should have died in The Ones Who Live? If Denai Guerrera's never coming back? Or do you think, like, her surviving was good? I feel like this show needed a consequence. I feel like we needed a death.
I'm okay. I'm okay that she lived, I guess.
Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, is there anything else you wanted to talk about or mention with The Walking Dead? When is New York Comic Con, by the way? Like, how many days?
I think it's next week or this weekend. This weekend or next weekend.
Okay. Yeah,
Maybe.
I know.
I don't know. I'll have to look.
Yeah, I hope. I mean, I guess what I'm saying is, like, I hope that it's something good that gets announced. Like, maybe like a amazing Walking Dead game. Like, it's being made by like Supermassive Games or something. Like, have you heard of Supermassive Games, James?
Yes.
Right. They made. I might have forgot to ask. I mean, I might have asked you this before, but I forgot. But yeah, you know, Until Dawn, right? It is. I hate horror, and it's like the best horror game I've ever seen. It's so good. Like it's so
Yeah,
good.
you might have talked about it. I haven't played it though.
Right. But the characters and the lore, the story, the world, I'm like, and the graphics too. I'm like, oh man, the choices. I'm like, if they make a Walking Dead game like this, I'm like, dude, it's gonna do so well. But no, they use that. They use a starting indie company or something to make a Walking Dead game. Like the Walking Dead Destinies. Oh man, that was so bad. Oh, it was so bad.
Yeah, I don't understand why they can't do something good because, like, just taking I know it may be a bad example, but like I used to play a game on PC called Battlefield 2, and when it came out, it was great because it was new. But of course, they've come a long way since then. But there's people that make mods for that, and I played a mod recently, and it looked almost as good as a new game, right? So it's like if somebody sitting in their bedroom can do this level of stuff, because it was amazing compared to the original game. So I'm like, holy crap. And this is just a dude, working on it on the weekends. Surely AMC can pull off something amazing.
Right, but it's absolutely terrible. Like, The Walking Dead Destinies, it's like a PlayStation 2 game, but it was on the PlayStation 4. Like, why? And 5. Oh my goodness, it was on the PlayStation 5. Oh,
yeah, I'm only speaking from, what I hear in the comments and stuff, but people say that if they made a open world game of The Walking Dead and it was a good one, that it would be one of the biggest games ever. Could be, has the potential, but they just won't do it.
Like Red Dead Redemption. Like Red Dead Redemption. But they don't do that. Why? It's because AMC, like I said, man, it's just they don't care about The Walking Dead anymore. They don't care about quality. By the way, you want to know something hilarious? Like, look at this. Do you remember this character from season 3 that Andrea talked to? That girl, Haley? Like, you know what I mean? Remember her?
Barely.
Okay, well, this is her in The Walking Dead Destinies. Like, it doesn't even look the same. What is this? Like, they didn't even get her hair right. They didn't, or like anything. Like, it's like a completely different character. Like, oh my goodness, it's just, it's a minor thing, but you get what I'm saying. The characters act so out of character. They don't look like their characters. It's just so bad. Destinies is a complete dumpster fire. Like, why?
Yeah, as far as the graphics, like I said, I haven't played. I watched a little bit of gameplay on a video, but
it's like a PlayStation 2 game.
The graphics are horrendous. Scary.
Yeah, they're so scary. Like, I don't know what's scarier. Until Dawn, the greatest horror game of all time, or the graphics for The Walking Dead Destinies. I don't know what's more scary.
Huh.
Like,
they're scary for sure.
But the funny thing is, AMC did not intend for The Walking Dead Destinies to be terrible. They wanted it to sell. But, like, did they really think it would make a lot of money? Like, they can't be this stupid. AMC, like, they're in charge of The Walking Dead. They can't be this dumb. There's no way. But then again, it's like, well, I guess they are. Because look at it. You see The Walking Dead Destinies, you're like, what is this?
It's hard to imagine because, I try to put myself in the offices of AMC and, trying to hear the chatter of what they're talking about. How can they say, okay, let's do another season of Fear, say season 8 or season 7, because we've had such a good run in the last few, how, and let's keep these showrunners, they're doing great. I mean, no.
Right.
I mean,
I agree.
A lot of people liked it, but the actual data, the viewership was down. It was thumbs down and low ratings everywhere. Yes, a few people liked it, but
a few. I mean,
are
like
they
very
not
small.
seeing?
Like 99% hated. 99% hated Fear. It was pretty high up there. Like, yeah, I think the 1% is Ian and Andy. They look at it and they're like, man, we are such geniuses. I told Walker Dead this. If aliens came to Earth and Ian and Andy, Dumber and Dumber, if they were the first two humans the aliens met and they decided to exterminate a whole species, destroy our whole planet because of those two, I would be like, you know what? I don't blame them. I don't blame you guys for wanting to destroy us. I'm like, those guys are so dumb. That's how dumb they are. That's how bad it is, because like it's just it's like
the funniest thing to me with Ian and Andy, if you watch the behind the scenes stuff where it had them talking about the scenes and stuff, if you watch from really season 4 on, it's so funny because one or the other of those two will say, I know you don't understand it right now, but you will. And like next season, we're going to explain it all and it'll all come together for you. Well, next season comes and it's crazy too, but they're still saying, well, you'll understand it eventually. These are little pieces that's building this bigger story. I'm just like, dude, you don't know what the hell you're doing.
They don't. They really don't, man. Dude, 4-year-olds can write better than them. Like, what is this?
Hell, we got ChatGPT now that can write better than those guys.
Exactly. Like, how did they get a writing degree? How did they... Like, I could write The Walking Dead universe better than them, and I didn't go to writing school.
I think the main question though is how did they keep their job and go all the way to season 8 with those guys?
They have to have dirt on Gimple. They have to have like some massive lawsuit dirt on Gimple or something. They have to. Like maybe it's a stunt, like one of the lawsuits, like maybe information about the lawsuits or stuff, like the stunt people. Like it's got to be something. Like, you know what I mean? It's got to be something big. That's
it.
Yeah, go ahead.
It almost has to. Yeah, it almost has to.
Because like, wasn't Fear rated like the worst TV show ever? Like not just by the fans, by literally like on articles and stuff. Like people were like, this is the worst show on cable. Like Ian and Andy were probably like, we did it, guys! Woo! We're #1! Woo! Yeah, as far as as far as the worst show ever, yeah. Oh my goodness.
Is Walker Dead still on?
You still here, bro?
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm listening.
Hey, so I'll ask you a question. What other shows are you watching right now that you enjoy?
In terms of other shows, I saw season 1, episode 2 of Invincible. I really enjoyed that.
Oh, yeah, Invincible's good.
I did see The Boys. I did enjoy like the first 3 seasons. Season 4 I wasn't too much of a fan of. Yeah, so if someone was asking me like, oh, what shows you're enjoying right now, I would say Invincible, The Boys. That's pretty much it.
Those are good ones.
Pretty much it.
Wait, two gory ones.
Wait,
Yeah.
Walker Dead, what about Stranger Things? You've seen that, right?
I haven't seen. I did see the first 3 seasons. I did not get a chance to see season 4 of Stranger Things.
Okay.
At least not yet.
Well, you got time. Season 5's coming out next year, so
Right.
yeah, you still got some time. But yeah, like, right, right about Invincible. Like, yeah, to be fair, James, I don't like gory shows either, as far as the sake of goriness, like no good storytelling. But with Invincible, I feel like it works pretty well for the most part. And we won't spoil it, but dude, Walker Dead has seen the first 2 episodes, and he's like, dude, like, right, Walker Dead, like the first 2 episodes, just like insane.
Nice, that's good. It's good that something's good's coming. Yeah, The Boys to me was, I don't know, it's a little over the top sometimes with the gore and stuff they show, so it's crazy that they show all that, but
yeah,
it's a good show overall.
That's fair. Yeah. It
may be the goriest thing I've seen though in a long time, The Boys, as far as even a horror movie. There may be 1 or 2 gory scenes in a horror movie. The Boys, it just seems like they're ripping people apart every 5 minutes.
Yeah. Well, Well, that's the thing, though. Like, it doesn't. It depends on each person, and it depends on how good is the story, how good are the characters. Because imagine you watch one episode of a show, and or in Game of Thrones, like you watch the first episode, and you know, is this a good show? Am I hooked? That's how you know. First episode, are you hooked? That's how you know. But you watch Ian and Andy's Fear, just 1-2 episodes, and you're like, no, I'm not hooked. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's that easy to tell. Like, it's just, oh man. Like, see, at least with World Beyond, at least, like, people hate World Beyond, and I don't get it. Like, at least it ended in 2 seasons. Meanwhile, with Fear, we had 5 terrible seasons. 5 terrible garbage seasons in a row, too. Like, that is torture. Like, if I had to rewatch Spider-Man 3 again, or Fear, like, yeah, I'm rewatching Spider-Man 3. Because, like, you know what I mean? Because, like, Fear, it's literally one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. Like, I wish I could unsee it. But I can't, you know? It's just, it's that bad, man. It's that bad of writing. Like, it's so bad. It's just...
Yeah, it's stupid.
There's definitely differences. I think like 2 shows that I've watched. That Shogun is one series, and the other one, I want to say it's called maybe like For Those About to Die or something. It's like the Roman Colosseum stuff, and they were both good, but Shogun was just produced and acted beyond TV, like movie level, just epic level. I thought it was really great. The other one just wasn't written well. You know, it was more like The Walking Dead, where it's like, really, you know, you were finding yourself going, really, and just, I just think it's the production, it's the casting, it's the writing, and it's hard to get it right. You know, there's few and far between good shows these days.
Yeah, let's be honest. The Walking Dead writers, they've been more bad than good. Let's be honest. You know, like, the actors have been more good than bad, of course, but the writers, bad overall.
And I think some of the stuff that's attracting me, or some stuff that I like better these days, is stuff that's not an IP already. Like, it wasn't a book they tried to make into a TV show or movie. It wasn't a comic. It wasn't something like a remake of an old movie. You know, it's something original and unique.
Yeah.
You know, I'm kind of drawn toward that.
Then you'll love Stranger Things, man, because Stranger Things, it was made by 2 brothers. They gave the idea to Netflix. They made it into 4 seasons, man. It's one of the best. I think it was literally rated Netflix's best TV show. Like,
yeah, I watch Stranger Things. I like it. It's good.
Nice. What episode are you on?
Stranger Things?
Yeah, what season are you on?
Didn't season 4 just finish up? Or
yeah. Season 4.
A while back?
Yeah. You finished that?
Yeah. I watched it all the way through. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And you notice how every episode is like a movie? Every episode hooks you. Every episode has great writing, callbacks. Every episode, they're well acted. The scenes are well done. It doesn't treat its audience like it's stupid. Like, that's what
for the most part. Yeah, for the most part, I would say all of that's true. Yep, for Stranger Things.
Meanwhile, you have The Walking Dead, and you just have, you have Fear the Walking Dead, and you have a nuclear bomb going off, and they hide under an oil truck, and then radiation. Oh, we're fine. The radiation's not going to kill us. And then you have Morgan, who just out of nowhere makes a super Ghostbusters car, and he's like, yeah, it's radiation proof and this and that. And I'm like, when did you learn how to do this? When did you do this, Morgan? Like, it's just...
Or they all ride up with gas mask on, and their horses don't have anything.
Right, like, I have never seen this level of terrible writing in my life before, and it sucks, but a lot of it's in The Walking Dead. It's terrible, but it's true. like some of the worst writing I've ever seen in a story, and it's in The Walking Dead. Hey, Epic, I'm going fine. I'm talking with Walker Dead Phoenix and James here. But yeah, man, and also one thing also, here's another thing, James. You notice how Stranger Things, how the kids are well acted. They act. Fantastic acting, fantastic chemistry. There's no cringe. You don't have scenes. You don't have a scene in Stranger Things where an adult passes out and then the kid drags their whole body across a state or something, and it's like, oh, I saved you. We're over here now. No, you don't have that in Stranger Things. Why? Because the writers, the brothers, they don't think the audience is stupid. But meanwhile in The Walking Dead, you have characters passing out or they get injured, and a kid character can just drag them to a completely different location by themselves. Like,
Yeah, I think it's a fundamental difference between what we were talking about at one point, old school TV writing, and epic, thinking more
Right.
like a movie, even if you do have episodes,
right? Why can't these two, for Game of Thrones, the first couple seasons, and Stranger Things, like the writing is fantastic. They don't treat the audience stupid. They don't jump the shark. They don't and yet meanwhile with Walking Dead, we could just never get that. I don't understand why. It's so frustrating, man. I want The Walking Dead to have Netflix level quality and writing and Stranger Things, but remember the Commonwealth? How you see 5 soldiers and oh yeah, that's the Commonwealth's army. Mercer has to gather a group of soldiers, and you see 5 soldiers. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what is this? This is just terrible. Like, AMC, the Walking Dead franchise cannot go like this. It just can't. It's
So
yeah, go
the
ahead.
Commonwealth set's still up
Right, but nothing's happening with that.
at the studio. So I just think they may be thinking about it, though. I don't know if they had left it up this long, but they've also built a couple of new things: a house and a gas station right there on the lot.
Right.
It's fenced off.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though.
But
I don't think that's part of the filming. I don't think that they're going to film that. Like Alexandria, I think they're just building new locations, for people who actually live there. You know what I mean?
oh well, this isn't a real gas station, and it's not a real house, and it's on the lot of the studio lot, and it's totally temporary. You can tell it's made to be shot in as a set. So that's recent stuff. So I'm just saying, I don't know if they're maybe going to do the more Tales of the Walking Dead thing, and that's what it's for.
More
I don't
tales. More tales. Didn't they announce that like a year ago? More tales.
Yeah, it could have been 2 years. It's been a while.
Yeah. Right? So it's like, oh, and Tales too. I never watched it, but let's be honest, Tales is one of the worst things in the Walking Dead universe as well. I mean,
Yeah, I don't have good ratings.
and they're surprised. The writers are like, why do we do a terrible thing? We just made every single episode completely alien from The Walking Dead, how it's actually supposed to be in terms of lore and characters and writing. Yeah,
I don't know how the future will be. We're going through a time in the world where individuality is coming out, and different ways people think, where used to it was the norm was one thing and everybody just accepted it, even if you were different, if you were gay, if you were, trans, if you were whatever, however you thought, whatever religion you were, or if you were a they or them and not a he or she or whatever, right? But we didn't used to live in a time, and it showed through the media. So these days, individuality is coming out, and people are trying that in the writing, and it's not hitting a wide audience because it's so much more of a niche thing as far as the public goes. So I think we're in a transitional phase of we're going through that, and we got to work things out as a society, and hopefully we will. But, we're all mad at each other right now, and the whole world's fighting each other. But hopefully we'll get to a point where, maybe the world is more acceptive of things. I don't know. I don't know how the future's going to be, because now we have AI, and you don't even have to pick up the film camera and write the script. You hit a couple of buttons and you have a movie.
Yeah.
So the future's going to be crazy, man.
Yeah, I agree. Here's the thing though, James. I'm Republican and I'm very accepting of people. What I'm not accepting of is complete garbage. And neither is the entertainment industry. We can't do this anymore. As a consumer, I don't want any more garbage entertainment. It's not going to work anymore. Like, look what happened with Deadpool and Wolverine. Look what happens with other stories. Like, mediocre shows or movies. They're not going to cut it anymore. Entertainment is changing. You either
Yeah,
make it, you
it
either
totally
make it.
is.
Yeah,
So,
go ahead.
but what's the end result? That's the thing. I mean, we either don't watch anything or we consume stuff until things change. I mean, I don't know. That's what I was saying. It's hard to see how things are going to play out.
Yeah,
Are things going to get better as far as the writing? I don't know if things are going to get better as far as the writing, or we as a society will shift. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to see the future.
right. I totally agree. Just like in with the CRM and the world of The Walking Dead. But I said it before and I'll say it again. This is why I'm not watching Daryl Dixon or Dead City, or I didn't watch Tales. This is why, because I'm not gonna feed into that mediocre entertainment. And if you guys like it, okay, you like it. But me myself, I'm like, no, I deserve better than just AMC's bottom of the barrel, and I'll say that because a lot of what The Walking Dead is doing right now in other entertainment, it really is just bottom of the barrel, you know. So yeah,
But it's happening, like you guys doing fan fiction. It's happening all over, and even more so now with the internet and tools that we have to do stuff. Like I downloaded the other day called Ahsoka. I don't know how you say it. The Star Wars show, and
Acolyte,
I'd watched it.
Acolyte.
No,
No, not that.
it's with
Like
the
the Ahsoka show.
Oh, okay.
Ahsoka. She was like a Padawan of Anakin. Yeah. This dude did a edit of it, like a fan edit, like relit it, like recolored it, actually did some new effects and put a little ship in there, a 3D thing. Like he really put a lot of time and effort into it. And it's not the greatest show when I watched it originally, and it's not the greatest edit as far as when you watch it back, because it does leave out some stuff. But you can see that people do want that. Like you're saying, they want something better than what they're given originally, and they do try to make it into that. And he did a pretty good job, the guy that edited that. So I think it's a widespread thing. It's not just me and it's not just you. Everybody's feeling the same thing and want something a little bit better. So that's the question. What will tomorrow bring? Will it be something better, or will it be all computer generated? It's hard to say.
Right. I mean, I totally agree. Like, I also agree with the fact that, there's no way of knowing what could happen next, and I feel like that's the kind of, like, the scary thing. Because it does make you wonder a bit, like, okay, are in, like, say in the next, like, 5 or 6 years or so, is it going to be the same thing we're getting now, where people are writing their own stories, like, their own scripts, or is it going to be something completely different, like you said, like maybe it's something like with AI, and maybe some details are good, but they're not, regularly, good compared to what someone would usually write. So I do get that, that kind of division there, like how are things going to play out going forward, like say in the next 5 or 6 years or so.
Yeah, that's the thing. I deal with music, and it's crazy. I spent about $4,000 or $5,000 on 4 songs a year ago. I went to Nashville. I hired the best I could afford, musician people, and the songs turned out okay. But it's me trying to convey an idea to other people, and not really, even after spending thousands of dollars, not really getting what I wanted. But it was good. Well, I got on an AI music making site and didn't even pay for it. I did the free version, and I've got 30 or 40 demos. I'm about to upload it to a YouTube channel and make some music stuff. It's stuff I wrote. It's stuff I produced. I did the music and everything, and I told AI what I wanted, and it gave me exactly what I wanted. Eventually, I had to do it a few times, and that was for free. The world is changing. Big singers of rock groups and stuff, rap groups, singers are now going and digitizing their voice. There's already websites out there that I could go to, and if I wrote a song, I could say, I want this singer who has digitized their voice to sing it. So, like, say, the singer of Aerosmith, Steven Tyler, I could have him singing one of my songs because he digitized his voice, and I could pay royalties to that. And it would be, even though it would be AI doing it, it would be Steven Tyler singing my song. I can go pay for that right now. So the future, whether it be movies, everything is changing. Everything is changing because of AI, especially the creative side, writing, music, movies, TV. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's definitely changing. I have a really good friend named Caitlin, and she is doing her own story. So obviously it's not Walking Dead, and it's called Fox Scars, and it's like Prime Walking Dead, but the characters are animals, and it's a story. It's got a lot. It's got trust issues, betrayal, some supernatural things, but also, like danger, other dangerous, Fox's animals in the story, and it's like Walking Dead in terms of these characters needing are part of a group, and they have to trust or distrust one another. There's betrayals, there's secrets, there's characters that have tragic backstories and things happen, and it's so what I mean, like this is what yeah, you're right, anything could happen. I don't want to support AI too much because I want to support people that actually do actual stories and work hard on them. But it's pretty obvious. Like, dude, you see Ian and Andy's Fear the Walking Dead, and you're like, no, like, I don't want to support that. You know what I mean? Like, because you guys know me, I prefer quality. Like, that's the thing about storytelling and writing. Like, if these writers I guess what I'm saying is, like, a lot of great writers don't get enough support, like my friend Kaylin. And then other writers like Ian and Andy, they get $1 million budgets to make the worst show ever. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's so backwards. It's trash. It's backwards. It's not fair. Like, it's really not. Like, it's messed up.
It's definitely not fair. I like that Fox Scars, though. The idea, the look of it, that looks cool. Reminds me of Fox and the Hound. That was one of my favorite stories as a kid.
Yeah. Well, there's some supernatural elements in it, and there's obviously like villains, antagonists, and characters keeping secrets, characters not being strong enough to protect the ones they love, and the main character is a young fox. He's a kid, and the antagonist, he has a relationship with the antagonist in some way, and it's like, oh shoot, and all these characters are mixed in too, and it's a brutal story, but it's one of those things where it's like, this is what I like. I love stories like Stranger Things or Game of Thrones or Prime Walking Dead, where it's about these characters together and how they adapt to the situation, their lives, loss, new life, whatever happens that life throws at them. How did they become stronger, better characters and grow? Like, this is what storytelling is. But it's quite clear that Ian and Andy missed that class, with storytelling. It's just
they're fun to diss on because it's easy to diss on them for sure. I mean, some people liked it. I still get that in the comments, and I totally respect anybody who liked it. That's fine. I just don't care to share my feelings about it. I don't. 4 through 8 just wasn't for me.
Yeah, I totally agree. Hey, James, do you need to go soon? If you do, it's totally fine.
Yeah. Probably here pretty quick.
Okay. So Epic and Walker Dead also saw Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, and he really enjoyed it. Obviously, no spoilers, but Walker Dead. Would you say your favorite thing about the movie was the villain?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
Villain
same.
was.
Yeah,
I was
the
blown away. I'm like, listen, I don't even. I'm like, listen, I'm 23 now, and even with me, that doesn't really watch kids movies as much. When I did watch Last Wish, I'm like, how is it that this movie is so well written that we get something like AMC's Fear, and that's not even goodly, written. I'm like, because I was a little like taking, I was a little blown away. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little blown away because from the writing standpoint, I'm like, wow, like how is, like, you know what I mean? Like, how is this,
right.
PG film really good, yet
Yeah,
some things nowadays, like for example, AMC's Fear, seasons 4 to 8 is it's like really bad. Yeah, we have a
yeah.
kids movie like Last Wish, and that's really good, and the villain's really good, and I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, oh wow, like you know what I mean?
Right, exactly. This kids movie has a better villain than these supposed to be professional writers have in a horror story. We're more scared of a kids villain, a kids movie villain, than the actual villains in the horror story. Like, what
Yeah,
are you?
I
Go
think I've
ahead.
told Brian this before that I've heard that that movie has the best fight scene between the hero and the villain than any movie this person has ever saw. Even with superhero movies and stuff.
What movie?
The Last Wish.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's pretty up
It
there.
has like
Yeah,
the best fight scene with the hero and the villain.
it's pretty up there. Like it's pretty up there, I would say. And, like, but yeah, like okay, like you guys think back. Was there any point of Fear the Walking Dead seasons 4 to 7 where, or 4 to 8, where you were actually scared of the villain? Were scared of, oh no, the hero's gonna die, or no, I don't want Morgan to die, or Alicia to die, or this and that.
I
It's
was
like,
scared of one villain.
who?
I was scared of that lady, dirty old lady that left
No,
us.
Martha. Martha.
no.
Martha. I was scared of Martha, not because she was like a villain, but just her character was so horrible. It scared me so bad.
Yeah, it's like, oh no, don't touch me. I don't know what diseases you have. Like, Martha probably had some diseases or something. I don't know. Like, that's the only reason to be scared of her. Like,
I almost thought that wasn't real. Like I
right?
wasn't enjoying Ian and Andy up to that point, but when they introduced Martha, I'm just like, are they effing with me? Are they effing with me?
Right?
Like, is
It,
this real?
like, how could this exist in The Walking Dead? Like, for Pete's sake, we should be getting creepy villains, the kind that chop off your fingers and, the kind that want to peel your face off. Like, this is Fear the Walking Dead. Like, we need some crazy villains that, maybe villains that do ritualistic sacrifices. Like, let's go crazy with this, But no, like, let's have a villain that, oh, she's a bad guy because she records herself and her promotion is better. This isn't the presidential debate. Okay, Morgan is he trying to be president and he's fighting against Virginia? Like, what is this? Like, that's literally what season 5 was. They're fighting over whose tapes are better, whose promotion is better. Like, what is this? It's so dumb. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. People like, I support Ginny. And it's like, I support Jenny. I trust Jenny. Like, it was literally like a presidential commercial debate or whatever going on. And I'm like, this is not The Walking Dead. This is not The Walking Dead. These random people saying, I trust Virginia, blah, blah, blah. And not to mention, don't even get me started on Virginia and Dakota. Like, like Dakota was her daughter, but then she was her sister, and she's her daughter and sister. Like, what is going on? Like, I'm so lost. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like what was up with that? I mean, I didn't really care about that. I mean, I'm like, no.
But it was confusing. It was very confusing.
Very.
Not only that, just how they did how it was a retcon. It's just how they did the retcon. It was like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, this isn't even a good retcon. Like, come on now.
Like, yeah, I totally agree. And when characters, and I haven't even seen Padre, but like, I just know it was bad. I'm like, so this was the last villains in Fear the Walking Dead, the last, And also, I don't understand why people love Morgan as a character, because if Morgan died in Fear, I would have loved that, because Morgan is dead to me as a character. Like, can we establish that Morgan made everything worse in Fear the Walking Dead? Like, because he crossed over, he made everyone's lives more miserable, more damaged, more like a hell, because he went in that show and ruined everyone's lives. Like, Morgan made nothing better, you know? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, oh my goodness. You know, and then he leaves Fear the Walking Dead. Rick, I'm gonna come looking for you. Who cares? Like, oh my goodness. Like, he doesn't deserve to reunite with Rick. You know, after everything that Morgan's done, after how much of a character he's been ruined, do we really want to see him reunite with Rick? Like,
No.
Of course we do, because he has a daughter. He's got introduced to Judith, just like
No.
Laurent will be introduced to Judith, and that sets up the whole next generation. We got to get this next generation thing going.
oh, it hurts. I have physical pain in my chest from this. It's so funny. Oh my goodness. It's not even his daughter though. It's like, oh my goodness. Like, and also, Walker Dead and I talked about this. Like, Tracy and Mo, like, we didn't even get to see them. Like, well, I didn't see them. And I'm like, they're not even how you write kid characters. Like, Ian and Andy don't know how to write kids. Like, they really don't.
Yeah, both of those characters talk like they were 25 years old, and of course, all of the dialogue and with everybody was crazy and stupid, but
Right.
kids were just very unbelievable.
Right. And here's the thing too with Morgan. He worked for Padre for 7-8 years, and he has been kidnapping kids and taking them away from their parents. So once again, like I said, you really make me expect me to believe Morgan would do that as a character, and that he gets to live, he gets to grow as a character after that. No, there's no going back from that as a character, you know? Like, you know, hey, Rick, this is my daughter, Mo, who's not really my daughter. By the way, I kidnapped kids for 7 years. Like, if I was Rick, I'd be like, what the heck? You can't just gloss over that. Excuse me, you kidnapped kids? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Padre should have took a lesson from Major General Bill. He took 10,000 kids.
right, and meanwhile, like, what is Padre doing with their kids? I know that they had Finch, you know, and then they used him as a test subject. You know what I mean? I'm like, well, then the kids didn't matter. Like, you Padre, we're all obsessed about kids, but then also we kill kids if we want. Like, what? Like, it's so dumb. It just doesn't make any sense. Like, even Ian and Andy's logic and lore in Fear the Walking Dead doesn't make sense. Because, like I said, Padre was all about, we care about kids, you know, and then all of a sudden it's like, no, we don't care about kids. And then the fact that they assassinated my boy Troy, man, the fact that they assassinated and ruined one of the best characters from Fear the Walking Dead, they brought him back from the dead, and they're like, we're gonna make you such a bad character. We're going to completely ruin your character, and then we're going to kill you again. like that.
The best thing about Fear the Walking Dead, the best thing about it, I think, is that you can really forget about it and not hurt the rest of the story. Like, there's nothing so major, even the nukes. I mean, Rick never goes to Texas, so, you know, we don't have to worry about it. Really, if you just don't think about anything in Fear the Walking Dead, it doesn't hurt the whole story. So I'm glad they didn't do something really major in Fear the Walking Dead that would make you have to, you know, think about it. So really, I mean, you guys can name something, but
sorry, what? What are you saying?
I'm just I don't usually review Fear, or I don't mention it in my videos, because really it doesn't matter to the story usually.
It really doesn't. It really doesn't. Fear, it's just like, it didn't matter so much that in The Ones Who Live, they put in the intro, oh, there's radiation in the Texas area, like in the intro. That's all they did. Just for them to be like, yeah, it happened, but we don't have to acknowledge anything. Like, you know what I mean? Like what the heck happened to Isabel and Althea? You know? Jadis is like, no one escapes the CRM. Huh, what about them? Did they die? Did you catch them? What happened to them, Jadis? You know? Like...
Yep, they got away. They got away from you, Jadis.
Don't the helicopters have trackers, though? Like, wasn't that a reason why Rick... Wasn't that a reason why Rick couldn't escape? Yeah,
maybe, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't... it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, because I thought about it in The Ones Who Live. Couldn't Rick have just become a pilot and then took a helicopter and left? Couldn't that have worked? Like, were we ever given a reason why Rick never did that?
No, it just showed Okafor kind of talking him out of it. Or, you know, Rick acknowledged, okay, fine, I'm in this, or whatever, when he was flying the helicopter. That one scene. But it never really explained. He tried to explain how Rick changed his mind and said, I have to stay here.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, see what I mean? Like, all those years Rick lost with his family, and it's just like, it was kind of the dumbest reason ever. Rick was a consignee, and Esteban, man, he, I don't get why people love him. They're like, hey, Rick, man, why don't you become a soldier and then escape? And Rick's like, that's genius! Like, what? This is Rick freaking Doodah Grimes. Are you kidding me with this? Like, I just don't understand.
I love it.
I love it. Yeah, that is crazy. Man, people are obsessed with, people loved Okafor, man. They loved Esteban.
He was an okay character, you know, just a little community, comedy, you could call it a little comedy side type character.
Yeah, but still, it's just like people are like, man, he was the go, man. We should see more with his character and this and
but
that.
But Okafor, you know, I can agree that I would probably watch a Okafor backstory.
I wouldn't.
They won't ever do it.
I wouldn't. I didn't like Okafor's backstory because you know how I feel about it. It didn't make sense to me. It just really did not make sense to me with how, you know, the placement and everything, the Marines, like, you're telling me some random commander told Okafor, hey, bomb, we're in Philadelphia right now, bomb Atlanta all the way over there, and then LA all the way over there, and then come back, bomb Philly, and if you don't bomb Philly, we have these 4,000 Marines that'll kill them, including your own wife. And it's like, how is this a scene? Like, I don't understand if, you know what I mean? Like, why does Okafor need to bomb the city if you have the Marines? Wasn't the city, was it falling? How did he replenish his missiles? Like, you know, bombs? Like, just,
he had previously bombed Atlanta and LA.
Right, but he lives in Philadelphia. Sorry, he lived in Philadelphia.
He didn't live in Philadelphia. He was a member of the Air Force. He was flying the plane that dropped the bombs. He was ordered by upper military command to bomb Atlanta and LA, and he did, maybe the day before or whatever. He's refueled, he's got new bombs, and now they're telling him, go bomb Philadelphia because we're losing, and we've got Marines staged right outside the city to go in and clean up the mess, anybody that the bombs don't get. And that was the plan. Well, his wife was a part of the Marines, and she somehow got in touch with him and said, look, you dropped bombs on Atlanta and we went in and cleaned up the mess. You dropped bombs on LA, we went in and cleaned up the mess. I don't want to do that again. I don't want all these people to die in the city. Bomb us instead.
Yeah, but see, that's what doesn't make sense. Every state has its own Air Force. Why are you dragging the Marines and Okafor around every single? Why are you spreading him all across the country? He's going back and forth.
Every state don't have its own Air Force. this was the United States military Air Force, and acting as the nation, they are everywhere. It isn't a state thing. That's the National Guard. That was Major General Bill. And he was fighting the Army in Pittsburgh. And that's when he told the story about, he said, we were losing, so I let the dead overtake the city because I couldn't hold it. And I couldn't fight off the Army. I was losing, so I let the dead, they didn't know about them coming. However that happens, the Army didn't know the dead was coming, but the dead came in and killed the Army and killed the city. And we retreated to Philadelphia, where we were about to lose too because we were about to get bombed. We were about to have bombs dropped on us, but Okafor decided to bomb his wife and the Marines instead, which were 4,000 or something like that, to save the 100,000 or whatever that was in the city.
Right, like, did the people in charge not think of, like I said, why did you tell Okafor about the 4,000 in the city when it's like, well, what if he just bombs the Marines? Like, what is your plan for that? Like, I guess what I'm trying to say is that, like, it was just poorly done and didn't make any sense. Because like I said, somebody's giving him an order to bomb the city, and if you don't bomb the city, we have these Marines stationed by. It's like I said, that just sounds like such a.
It wasn't. They didn't say if you don't bomb the city, we got the Marines. They just ordered him to bomb the city and do it just like he did Atlanta and L.A. And then we've got 4,000 Marines to go in and clean up afterward. It was nothing to the sort of bomb the city or 4,000 Marines. No, it was bomb the city. And then the 4,000 Marines to go in and clean up afterwards. So that was his direct order. His direct order was to bomb Philadelphia. And the reason he didn't is because of his wife. That was the whole sacrifice written into the show. Like, Rick, you're looking for your family. You've got all these problems, dude. I bombed my fucking wife. Sorry, didn't mean to throw out the F-bomb.
Please don't swear. But yeah, the thing is, though, you see what I mean? There was no contingency plan for Okafor to bomb the Marines. They didn't think about that.
But who would have thought of that? There's never a contingency. I mean, military.
This is the military.
Okay,
this is the military.
It's the U.S. Air Force. They don't say go bomb, some site in Afghanistan or whatever, and think the pilot might fly to some other state and drop the bomb. You know what I'm saying? They would never have thought it would have happened.
Right, but then like I said, it's just a weird scene because but also the sacrifice. Rick didn't make a sacrifice in The Ones Who Live. That's the thing, though. They heavily implied that Rick was going to have to sacrifice Michonne to save Portland or to save the city, Philadelphia. They implied that Rick was going to have to make some kind of sacrifice in The Ones Who Live, but that never happened. Like, you see what I'm saying? That was also.
I'm going to have to pause. Let me pause a second.
Oh, do you have to leave? So Walker Dead, maybe, I gotta go soon, man. I'm tired and I've been, talking for too long. Let me read the chat. Wait, is this actually soon? Yeah, guys, if you have any questions, please ask in the chat. Morgan is a trash character, by the way. Just want to point that out.
Right. Or should we say his TV show counterpart?
Yeah. Yeah, I have to. Yeah, like I said, I have to go, man. Soon.
Yeah, just let me know how many more minutes you have, and then I'll let you go too, because
Yeah, like pretty soon. Pretty soon. I'm exhausted. I gotta relax, drink some fluids. I'm not feeling great, but yeah, I guess I don't know if you could help explain to James, but I didn't like the whole Okafor backstory thing because, like I said, his wife was in Philadelphia, and so was he because his wife was there. I don't think they mentioned that his wife traveled with Okafor to LA and Atlanta. You know what I mean? But also, okay, so maybe every state doesn't have its own Air Force, but there are more branches of the Air Force, you know, in the U.S. You know what I mean? Than just like, I'm pretty sure Philadelphia is not the only base that has an Air Force. Air Force. Hold on, let me look this up. Air Force. But also, like I said, it was just stupid that this is how the military, the command up, was basically telling Okafor, "Hey, bomb the city, and we have these 4,000 Marines if you don't." Like, I don't know. It's just, to me, that doesn't work. Okay, here's what I noticed. Here there's one in Washington, you know, next to Oregon. There's one in Washington. There's one in Maryland. There's one in Maryland, Missouri. Yeah, see, here's what I'm talking about. There's one in Marysville, California. There's an Air Force in California. There's one in Utah. There's one in Texas. There's one in Georgia, and there's one in Maryland. Why? Like I said, why was Okafor told to bomb Atlanta when Atlanta has its own Air Force? It's the Robins Air Force Base. You know what I mean? So this is what I'm talking about, when it doesn't make sense that Okafor was given the assignment to go all across the country and bomb these individual cities. When, in my opinion, that doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right. It doesn't.
Okay, so I was wrong. All these states don't have. Every state doesn't have its own Air Force, but I'm looking at this. There's like 10 Air Forces across the U.S. So that still is plenty. You know what I mean? So, like I said, Okafor being told to, hey, why is Okafor told, if he's in the Maryland Air Force, you know, he was in the Maryland one, why was he told to bomb the LA one and, you know, California and Georgia when they already have their own Air Force? So yeah, that is a plot hole. Because realistically,
They don't have.
Huh?
They don't have their own Air Force. It's the United States Air Force. It's one thing. It's not a state thing. And Okafor was a member of the U.S. Air Force, not the National Guard. That was Major General Bill.
Oh, right. Yeah, you're right. But what I'm saying is, like, okay, like here, this map, a lot of LA, California and Georgia and Texas, they have their own bases. Why tell a guy?
But that's just bases. It's one Air Force. They're all the same team.
Right. So what I'm saying is, why make a guy do 3 cities in one night when all these bases have their own jets and stuff, and they're closer to those cities?
First, we don't know. We don't know if it was one night. He could have did it a couple of nights before. We're not sure of that. There's not enough information to know, because it doesn't make sense that he could do it all in one night. And there might not have been any other bases left. You know, they were talking about how, you know, the bases were being overrun and stuff, and several were. So maybe that was just their only option, because it was, you know, like Major General Bill said, once the Marines were destroyed, the National Guard took over, formed Civic Republic. There was no more military. Once they killed those 4,000 Marines, everyone else defected, like Okafor, to Major General Bill. Any of the military that was still in that operation defected.
Yeah.
So it don't make sense. I agree with you. It don't make sense when you think about it, but it makes sense in the way of Okafor was a part of the Air Force, Bill was part of the National Guard, and if you say
that part makes sense. That part makes sense.
By state, if you start saying stuff by state, that's National Guard. You know, that's why Major General Bill was in Pennsylvania. He was a member of the Pennsylvania, defending Pittsburgh and Philadelphia.
Right.
But Okafor was the Air Force, so he's pretty much every state.
Yeah, it's just like I said, these bases have their own jets and stuff. So it's like, wouldn't it have made more sense to tell the commanding officers in those states? You know, instead of
they were zombies. They were zombies. They couldn't. You know, I think that's you know, they didn't say it, but I think that's the point they were trying to get across. There weren't any more bases they could pull from.
Yeah, but then again, if there's no bases, then how do they know those cities got overrun? There has to be someone saying, "Hey, we're having trouble here." There has to be some command.
Yeah, the Army was there, the Marines were there, and the Air Force were there. So they did know, and they ended up fighting the National Guard. So
Yeah, like I
that's
said,
how it
it's
played
just
out.
like I said, it's just kind of sloppy. How it just it's kind
It's
of
definitely
confusing.
sloppy.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. Do you have to leave soon?
Yeah, yeah. I was about to say, like, that's why I had to go. I had a knock at the door. I was expecting
Oh.
company, and they're here, so
Oh.
I wanna head on out. But I do
Oh, okay.
want to say I appreciate it, and I did enjoy my time.
Oh, thanks, man. We enjoyed having you too. It was really fun. Thank you so much. Um, yeah, man. Hopefully we can do this again sometime. But I'll give you a warning like far in advance. You know what I mean? Then like a day or something.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Um,
cool. It sounds good, and it was
yeah,
nice talking to you guys and Walker
yeah,
Dead.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Oh,
very
yeah.
well.
Oh, there is one thing I do want to say though. Really quick. I think the CRM they still have far too much of a military. Um, I think Commonwealth, I think they should distribute some of their equipment to the other branches like Portland and Commonwealth because let's be honest, like if a herd attacked the city, the CRM, like they would be fine. But look what happened with Commonwealth and with Portland. So I think to help with this imbalance of power, like because let's be honest, the CRM could still wipe out Portland and Commonwealth easy. I think that they should redistribute some of their equipment and military hardware. You know what I mean? So what I'm saying is Portland should have some helicopters and jeeps and stuff, and Commonwealth should be given a few, to balance it out. You know?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds easy to say that, but when has that ever really happened? Oh, hey, let me give you some helicopters so you can be equal to us. I think that's the fine line I'm talking about in some of my radio stuff is how do you figure that out?
Right. It's so that one
I
city.
mean, you're correct in saying that it probably should
Right.
happen, but
Right. One city should not be more powerful military wise than the other. Like, because once again, what's going to stop the CRM from wiping out these cities again? Like,
that's
there's
why
no.
they need to form a nation, and that's what I'm saying. The best way forward, whether a lot of people will like it or not, or want to talk about it and discuss it and try to figure things out, is that together is the only way forwards. That's what we got to figure out as a new forming nation again. How are we going to do
Yeah,
that?
I totally agree. What sounds better, the Commonwealth of America or the Civic Republic of America? Like, or just keep it the United States of America? Like, what's it gonna be? We have Jeanette, and is she planning? Is she planning all the way from France to invading the U.S.? She's got some. If she can't handle Daryl and Carol, then there's no way she's gonna handle the Civic Republic military. So.
Yeah, for sure. I think the best way forward for that situation would be trying to establish what was, just because we already have that blueprint. We already have state borders. We already have all that stuff, and it worked pretty good. Try to bring it back. I think that's the easiest thing instead of try to create something entirely new and then there be disputes, all the time.
Yeah, definitely. Well, all right, man. Thank you so much, James. I won't keep you longer than you need to be, but yeah, man. Thanks
Yep,
again.
I
This was a lot of
appreciate it.
fun.
Yep, same here, same here. Thank you guys, and good luck with your day and your future and everything about it.
Thanks, man. You too.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Can't wait for your next radio chat. Hope I brought some good topics for next time.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. And like you say, I'll try to get together. Maybe I can get you and Walker Dead and maybe Dan and somebody. We'll do some characters or something and try to put something
Awesome.
together.
Sounds good, man.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yep. All right. Talk to y'all soon.
All right. Take care. Bye. All right. I gotta go to Walker Dead. You have any last minute things you wanna ask or talk to me about?
I did want to. I don't know if I brought this up to you before, but I am also working on like a new zombie show. It's called like Zombie Apocalypse, and it's not going to be connected to The Walking Dead at all. It's its own thing, its own Walking Dead story, but it's
Are you
basically going to be like, yeah, it's going to be like with like different characters, different vibe, like you know what I mean, like like my zombie apocalypse show is like set in like 2006. The main character is like was like a state trooper. He's looking for his wife and 3 kids. The virus, it infects not just people, but it infects like animals. It started off like a flu, like more like, as I like to call it, like a carnage flu, and or the carnage virus, if that's what some people want to call it. But yeah, like a carnage virus, like it caused like multiple people in New York, become infected, and there could be like slow zombies, fast zombies. So I just want to bring that up to you. Like I don't know what you think about it. Like I just want to bring it up to you.
I mean, I don't dislike the idea. I just think you have so much right now on your plate.
Right.
I don't right now. I would kind of hold off on that. You know what I mean? For now, but like keep the idea around in your back pocket kind of thing. But yeah, no rush with that because you've got your hands full with all your Walking Dead shows and CW shows and everything. You got your hands full with all of that. So
Right.
don't add more. But yeah, it's pretty much it, I guess. Like, yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, like, so I talked to James. Like, yeah, we did talk about your reboot series a bit, and yeah, man, oh my goodness, dude, your General Bill, man, oh man, like he's gonna be amazing. Like, meanwhile, like AMC's, yeah, we know that AMC didn't do it good. But yeah, he told us to keep going. You with your fan fiction and me with my Extinction series, but. We got 6 years. So until that one.
Right. I mean, I understand why he would say, "Oh, fan fiction," but then again, it's not really fan fiction because if it's what I mean, like if it's what in our opinions what we should have gotten, then it's somewhat canon if you think about it. Because think about it. People think about it. Look what happened with General Beale within AMC's Walking the Universe. It was very disappointed, but what I got, planned, like, would you not, consider that somewhat canon within the alternate Walking universe?
I mean, canon to AMC's universe, no. But like, here's the thing: just because it's better and I want it, like, is it? Here's the thing, though: with Clementine Lives. It's not canon. That's easy. But with AMC's universe, it's really hard to say it's not canon. As much as we, don't like, AMC's universe. The sad fact is as terrible as they've written it, it is canon, unfortunately. But that's the thing about your series, It's like, maybe it's not as canon, sure, as AMC's universe, but still, it's going to be 1,000 times better. You know what I mean? And that still means something to us a lot,
Right. Again, again, like I stated before, and I've said this multiple times, I'll make sure there's AMC's Walking Dead universe continuity that which is terrible. People are familiar with, and then of course there's the Walking Dead reboot continuity.
Series is going to be amazing. Mostly your General Beale. Like that said, they're like, yeah, the fight would have gone a lot differently if it was this General Beale versus Old Man Beale. The fight would have gone so different.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
Yeah. Anything else, guys? Anyone watching?
Why you really have to leave? Like in the next 2 minutes?
Yeah. I would say 2 minutes.
Okay. And then for like not final, like probably for like a last minute question. What are your final predictions for like season 4A of my Walking Dead reboot? If you were to say some predictions.
I don't know. You're not going to do the flu storyline, so I really don't know what the storyline's going to be. I really don't know. It could be anything.
Right.
I really don't know. I really don't know what you're going to do in 4A because it's not going to be the flu. I think you're still going to do, the storyline with maybe Lizzie or something. Like you're gonna do something similar to that, in the prison. But other than that, I don't know.
Oh, and also, yeah, I mean, like I mentioned before, Lizzie doesn't exist in my
Well,
series.
yeah, but I feel like you're gonna do something similar.
Right.
Yeah. Anything else?
Yeah, and then my second and final last minute question is, so in terms of like, the season, like, which logo do you prefer? Do you 4-starred?
Which ones?
The 3-star logo from AMC's Walking the Universe, and then there's the one I showed you, the one with the 4-starred, the 4-starred logo.
With the CRLM?
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Can you paste them right here for me to see?
sure.
I need to look at them again. Like I said, The Ones Who Live, it's a good Rick and Michonne story, but like I said, and it concluded, it satisfied me. But did it blow my expectations? Was it the best thing ever? No, because there was so much there. Like, there was no World Beyond characters. There was no connection with Fear. There was no Thanos. There was no Endgame, Infinity War. There was no Daryl Morgan. There was no connection there. It was just Rick and Michonne in this little bubble. And they defeat the entire CRM with the power of love. That's the power of love. Like, are you kidding me with this? Like, no. Like, it's so bad that in your universe, like, there should be a joke where someone's like, what? This is the most powerful military on the planet. You thought something stupid like the power of love would defeat it? Like, that would be a funny line. Like, cause no, it's not. Like, there's no way.
Like, imagine Reboot General goes like, oh, come on now. You really think the power of love was enough to defeat me and CRM? Come on now. You would joke about that. You would probably be like, you guys are prophetic if you thought that would be the case.
Right. Like, it's so lame. He doesn't even laugh at it. Like, he doesn't even find it funny. Like, that's how lame it is. It's not even a little humorous. It's legit, just like stupid. Like,
right.
Right. Okay, the logos?
Yeah, I'm doing it now.
Okay, cool.
I don't worry, I'm going as fast. Because to be fair, I know you really have to leave, so. There we go. Like, which one do you prefer? The one from AMC's Walking the Universe, or my version?
I mean, right, that's it. I don't know, I still like I like both. This is one of those times where I'm gonna say, I like both versions. You know what I mean, with AMC's and your reboot series, because like, but like, yeah, I like your logo too. It's fine. It's just that, like, I don't know. Oh, by the way, you should probably tell the artist that's what the logo is gonna look like in your version. You should probably tell her that.
Yeah, I'll definitely let her know.
Yeah, because that was something I kind of forgot to mention.
It's okay.
Yeah. Anything
Do you have
else?
any last questions for me before I go?
Yeah. One sec. Hold on. Where are we? Yeah. No, I don't think. Well, just I'm really excited for your next episode of your reboot series. I'm gonna be pretty tired. I'm gonna relax the rest of the day, for the most part. But yeah, yeah, man, I can't wait to see the commission. I can't wait to see your General Beale. Because like, yeah, man, like he's gonna be the Omni-Man. He's gonna be the Thanos, the death of, in the, Walking Dead universe, more or less. So it's like, dude, I can't wait. You know?
Yeah, and I can't wait for you guys to see, what I got planned, because, I mean, listen, what I got planned, you gotta admit, it's somewhat better. it's somewhat better because listen, at the end of the day, from what we got from AMC's Walk in the Universe, sure, it could have been better. I will commit that, but I don't know because Gimple being Gimple. I mean,
Yeah.
that's things went differently. So yeah.
Exactly. All right, man. I gotta go. Enjoy the rest of your day.
All right, yeah. You too. Have a good one, man. Peace.
Yeah. Take care. Bye.
You too.
All right, guys. Thank you for coming. Thank you for the likes. Take care. Bye.